Hello, man. Hello, Mgtows. Today we're going to talk about a difficult subject. We're going to talk about honor. Let me see how my sound is. Today we're going to talk about it. Okay. What is honor is not very well defined. What is a man is not very well defined in this world. I think we have to define manliness before we can define honor. At this point, I'll start with a little reading from my favorite book, What is War? What is a man? Everything notable, beautiful and fine, everything glorious and magnificent and divine. Poets and orders have never ceased to exalt the dignity of man. His greatness has been a theme of perennial fascination. He has been a picture now of magicians and titans and demigods. What is a man? Everything that is low and contemptible and mean, everything that is vile and disgusting and devilish. The cynics and the satirists have never grown weary of exploiting his littleness of a man. His frailty, his wretchedness have been themes of many schools. He has been a picture of weakness, a pygmy, and now a slave. What is a man? Everything good and everything bad. He is great, and though he is little, he is both. He is noble, and he is mean. We listen to Hebrew poets about what is a man. Thou hast made a little lower than angels. Thou hast made us a little lower than angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. What is a man? He is honor. Thou madest him from the dominions over all works and over all hands. What is a man? He is honor personified. What is a man? What is honor? We ask, what is honor? We ask these things all the time. Why did you come to Mgtow? Why did you come to Mgtow? Was your honor violated? Mine was. Was something wrong? Mine was. My world was wrong. Everything I've seen in this world was wrong. It was absurd. What is a man? What is a man supposed to be? Honor is obscure in today's thinking. A Mgtow knows honor. He knows honor above all. It drives us. It's important to us. Honor binds every aspect of the question. Why Mgtow? Why Mgtow? All great philosophers and all great philosophies, like Mgtow, start with a question. What is honor? What is a man? Honor in Mgtow. It all starts with a question. What is a man? Most of us have been wronged. Mgtow is by cause, like I say. Something caused it. It wasn't born in a vacuum. Get between a man and his honor, and you'll be caught in a whirlwind of discourse. What is honor? That's what we're going to ask ourselves today. We're going to look at a couple of ways. I could go on for about 6, 7, 10 hours on this thing. Thanks, Doug. We talk about honor as an ego. A lot of people say, lose your ego. Your ego is bad. We balance this ego in our souls. Ego is put on a position. It's a positive. It's a contrapositive. When good ego, it's a healthy ego. When ego is out of sorts, or if you want to win over the world, if you want to take over the world, the man, the male, it's a bad ego. And when you're determined to call men plebes and stuff like that, it becomes a bad ego. So there's a balance in these things. Honor takes several forms. Mgtow honor is taking the high road to honor. A lot of men will take a step to honor. They'll step up. They'll man up. They'll put their chest up. They'll fight, they'll kill, they'll start wars over honor. They'll protect their property. They're female. They're female. That's where most honor codes come from, the female. Mgtow walks away from all this, the absurdity of the honor codes, what causes harm to himself. It's suffering. The Mgtow is, he's not about to endure suffering and honor. Suffering is seen as simping. When you see a man suffering in his marriage, his relationship, all that stuff, we asked ourselves, why? Why would he do that? There's bad faith in those things. Honor is betrayed. Honor is often betrayed by loyalty. We expect loyalty. We're expected to give loyalty. There's a duplicity in this. There's a fraud in this. There's a deception in this. There's a certain double speak, which we talk about there. There's a double-mindedness in most of the things we see in modern marriage. Marriage is a trap. It may involve intentional deceit or self-deception. I call it with foul intent. And this honor for a man is violated. Marriage traps, manipulation, the modern marriage. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to take about the forms of honor, the way it comes to each and every one of us. Each and every one of us will experience honor. You probably know there's something different going on. Notice there's something different going on in back of me, man. Hello, Ken. Hello, Shingles. Honor. Honor is a big issue. We see honor in movies, mostly we see honor in the gangster movies. There's always one that's honorable, and he knows what's best for the gang. And if you violate that honor, things will happen to you. We see honor in war. That's a different kind of honor. It's an honor to nation. It's loyalty to a nation, a king, a society. That's when honor gets a little misplaced sometimes. Male honor gets misplaced in loyalty to things. But do we get loyalty returned to us as men? You have to ask yourself that. That's what brings most men into Mgtow, is because it was displaced loyalty. It was violated loyalty. Honor. All men have honor. We have different types of honor. Like I said, you look at the Mgtow, and he has the good sense to walk away from things. Like there's an honor in that. There's a stoicism in that. He'll say, no, I'm not going to participate in the absurd. I'm not going to participate in the mating practices of these things. I'm not going to do that, the Mgtow says. There's a certain honor in that. It's like back in the times of Victorianism and Romanticism, where men would fight to the death in a duel because one was insulted. That was honor. We look at those things and those codes as ridiculous now. It looks barbaric to us. Honor codes look barbaric to us. I say in the times of Romanticism and the times of the early 1900s and Victorian age, honor was different. A man had to stand by his honor. If he was asked to fight for that, he had to. A lot of societies still operate in that function. A lot of societies still force men to have honor codes. And it gets us in trouble. The white knight. You ever think about the white knight? The white knight is the honor code. He's going to defend the female honor. Now, Mgtow has a different kind of honor. He walks away. He's stoic. He says, that's ridiculous. There's an honor in taking the high road sometimes. I'm not going to do that. That's what a Mgtow does. So we can see the duplicity of honor. Honor comes to visit each and every one of us when loyalty is violated. We all know that one, loyalty. Loyalty in the relationships, that's what you asked. Monogamy, there's sperm guarding. You don't want to think. There's cucks and things like that. You don't want to think that the child you so want is somebody else's child. That's why honor comes in. Women don't understand that. She doesn't think that a man would care if it's another man's child. She thinks he will volunteer for that job. Sexual cryptis determines that she thinks all the men out there, all the men are potential providers. This leads to hypergamy. White knighting leads to gynocentrism. The capacity to err on the side of the female, always. That's gynocentrism. Honor, it's honor. Women have honor too. They'll force honor on you. The way they think about honor, you're the protector, you're the provider, you're the builder. If you violate those honor codes, they'll be hell to pay in this society. Mgtow walks away from that too. Honor in war, the badge of honor, the decorations of honor men put on themselves during wartime. That's a different kind of honor. That's to be honorable to your society, to protect your society. In a ways, it's the same thing. You're protecting the society, you're protecting the women. Honor, you're protecting a code of honor in society, where there's supposed to be another code that says, we will do this for you if you do this for me. And it's not so much slavery at that point, but them codes are far removed from our society. And honor still remains in men. It starts fights, starts violence. It's white knighting. It's simping. It's two sides of it. You can be an honorable Stoic man and never participate. You can be an honorable Stoic monk and never participate. Save your honor, save your dignity. Dignity and honor have two different things. Dignity and honor. Most men have a lot of dignity. Save your dignity. That's what I say around here. If you do anything as a Mgtow, save your dignity. And that's what, when you save your dignity, you don't have to ever have that thing, that honor code enacted in you. Honor has everything to do with Mgtow and really nothing to do with Mgtow. We put it away. We walk away with it. We harness our egos. We look at the contrapositives and the positives of these things, and we try to land somewhere in the middle of this and try to live with a little dignity, because we don't want our honor codes violated. We don't want to be cucks. We don't want to have to be white knights. We most certainly don't want to be simps. Suffering and honor. Suffering is expected from most people in this society. We walk away from that too. We don't want to be the man that suffers and gets nothing in return. There's no honor and nothing in return. You're just a fool. And can a fool be honorable? No, a fool could never be honorable. I think it comes down to a lot of honor in Mgtow. And there's a balance of ego. There's a balance of politicized honor, political honor, what you believe. We see it enacted all the time. Gender dynamics honor. We see women on one side. They thoroughly believe this. We see men on the other side. And most of the time, we don't know what to believe. We don't have a philosophy of honor amongst men. We get all the other types. We get told what to do, what would make us honorable in somebody else's eyes. But that doesn't have anything to do with individualism or you. What do you believe is honor? How do you become honor itself personified? That's a difficult question. I think in the next few days or few weeks, I think I'm going to go by and I'm going to try to answer all these questions and all the different aspects of honor. Like I said, I could never do it in a single sit-in. There's way too much. How many types of honor are they? The simp thinks he has honor. The white knight thinks he has honor. The female thinks she has honor. The male thinks he has honor. Honor is a real thing. When it's violated, you'll know it. When someone violates or insults you, the chest will perk up, the eyes will squint. You'll know honor then. We rarely talk about it in Mgtow, what brought us here. Honor was violated. Honor and loyalty was violated. We can't expect loyalty anymore. But that's female honor, and female honor feels that they don't get enough in school, that somehow there's this patriarchy that disrespects their honor, that forces them down into a position. So how do they interpret that? How do they interpret that honor? That's feminism, how they interpret that honor. Feminism is born of honor, female honor. They've interpreted they've been wronged, hence honor. They've interpreted that we've been too violent. So it's on both sides. We rarely talk about these things as philosophers. What is honor? Look in every philosopher book. They shun away from it because it's a hard subject. I think it's part of the basic emotions of man. There's happiness, sadness, anger, feelings, and honor. I think it's in there. I think we don't breach what is honor to a male because it becomes difficult for the rest of the world. Because if our honor is enacted, it will come out in one of those several ways: violence, anger. If you are honorable, like imagine honor as a pitcher in a baseball game, a team effort, and all the men are loyal to each other on the team, and the pitcher of the other team beans the guy with the baseball. You're a player. You got to protect him. You're the pitcher. You're the pitcher. What do? You got to get up there and you got to throw a ball at that opposing player to protect the honor, say to back off. Don't do that again. In hockey, it shows itself away. You have the thug enforcer. You have the scorers. It's nice to be. It's attractive to be. It's a lot of you get a lot of the cheers if you're the scorer. But we think about the thug enforcer. If someone throws a check at the other guy and he checks him too hard, he checks your scorer too hard, what do? You have to protect him as the thug enforcer. It's not a job that they want. And then there's the irritator in a hockey team. His job is to go around irritating all the other players on the opposing team. He's the one that's going to meet the thug enforcer to protect the honor of his scorer. In baseball, you have to throw that beanball. If you don't, you're out of there. I've seen many a pitcher that tries to strike him out. He tries to grab that honor from the team. No, you have to work within the team and protect the team. That's loyalty. Honor comes from those things. We look at Hollywood movies and gangster movies. We look at how honor is so important because it always comes down to loyalty. What's your favorite gangster movie? How about a Rare Rabbit? What's your favorite gangster movie? Can you think of a place where honor was with The Godfather, with Sonny? Yeah, Sonny. Sonny was that picture of honor. He was hated and everybody loved him. He did horrible things, but everybody loved him. For what reason? After the Godfather died and he was the interim Godfather before Michael, he was the picture of honor. It was all for the family. The family was all the men. It was a team effort. It was honor. But that same honor code violations got him whacked in a telephone booth. The Godfather, yeah. There's a lot of great, You can get a great idea of honor through sports. You can get a great idea of honor through war, the badges, who was loyal enough to put himself. Men die for that, and they get the heralded badge of honor after their death. It's sad. And what is he protecting? He's protecting societal honor. What does society demand of men? Honorable. You protect, you provide, you work hard. There's this code that was violated some years ago that nobody seems to have anymore. Mgtows seem to have that. We come into Mgtow and we're saying, no, we're not dealing with this anymore. And what are we not dealing with it? Why are we not dealing with this? Well, most of us, from most Mgtows, our honor was violated. Our dignity was taken. And we couldn't react violently because society has codes. We couldn't react aggressively because society has codes now. We'd end up in jail. Our honor was violated, and there is no recourse to our honor being violated. We go into the courts and we're humiliated. We ask the courts for regress to our problems. Over 40 years, that's what the MRA has been doing. They ask the courts for regress because honor is being violated. The courts are supposed to automatically open up those dialogues, but they don't. It's more manipulation. That's why we say marriage is a trap. It violates moral codes of men, honor codes. It's a trap. After you've been through that, you know after you have to cower and acquiesce to authority. And even in that, they're saying be honorable, acquiesce to authority, be loyal to your government. They're provoking honor in you. Man up, man. They're demanding honor while they do such a dishonorable thing. Dishonorable thing. And they wonder why Mgtow is. Honor is important in Mgtow. It's what drives us. It gives us steam. It's a function of Mgtow. The ego. But honor is a function like the ego. The ego remains in every man, and you balance it between a good ego, the drive. I want to be the best man I can be in this world so I can make the most amount of money. My ego has to be there. I am the best. I have to say that. I have to drive forward. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you get on top, the ego sometimes comes out. We can see it in political pundits. We can see it in authors. We can see it in Hollywood stars. The ego comes out where they got that sachet and you're all the plebes and they're better. That's when ego goes to narcissism. There's a balance in that. Honor is like that. The ego and honor and loyalty all go together. There's a balance. There's not enough honor in some men. They would never fight for what's good or right. We would notice that as men right away. If the team gets involved with something, they would be, no, I'm not getting myself involved because there's some risk in that. That's a lack of honor, a lack of loyalty. But when honor taken too far, like the white knight is the typical example of the honor taken too far. You violated the honor of another. He's looking at another and he's interpreting his honor and looking at the honor of a woman. He's validating himself through the honor of a woman. It's a very disgusting act when you get your honor from the desire of a woman. You validate your honor through that. That's a disgusting act. Many philosophers have talked about that kind of honor. Don Quixote, he was fencing with a windmill. He thought it was a dragon. For what? The honor He thought of it, his princess, his beautiful princess, when he just didn't believe that he was too old or too feeble to have the princess. But it was not about having her in that sense. He knew he was old. It was about the honor within him. He could still fight a dragon. And he went out blind as a bat, blind as a bat, to find dragons amongst this world and fight with them. In the end, I think he found what he was looking for. At least he found dignity. And dignity is important for men. Sometimes our dignity is violated. That will invoke honor. It will invoke a code of honor. We talk about the code of honor and in Southern Violence, another book I've read lately. Or I always say, go read that one. That tells about men. It doesn't tell on men. It tells about what they think about men. We're all violent. We're all toxic. Our honor has to be in chains. There has to be no honor and no ego. No honor and no ego, man. Wow. What a bland world that would be. You know what else would be? You know what else would happen with no honor and no ego among men, no loyalty? No buildings would get built. No machines would run. The trains would stop. The electric would stop flowing. It would be a zombie apocalypse. Every man for himself. We hear that in honor codes. Sometimes every man for himself. The devil's work will be done in that. Honor codes. Honor means a lot to a Mgtow. Being an honorable person. I often say it, be a man above reproach. That's where I find my honor, my dignity. No woman could say that I was a rapist or I was that violent man. If I carry the code of a monk, the code of a monk is honor. If I want to diddle that, I put myself at risk. So honor for me as a monk would be being above reproach, never being accused of those things, because it would be laughable, wouldn't it? If someone accused Joe of that, would you all laugh? Would you all think it was laughable? You would. You go, yeah, right. Joe did that. I don't believe it. And I think and then there we go. You would say, I don't believe it. And in that lie, I think you are enacting my honor. And I would come to loyal to each and every one of yous. If they accused you, I would say, I don't believe it. He's a Mgtow. Mgtows don't do those things. It's how we distinguish Mgtows. We have a lot of Mgtows that say they have this Mgtow in them from a red pill perspective, but do they have that honor in them? Enough gumption in them to say, no, I don't do those things? You cannot accuse me of something I do not do. Well, you could, but it would come off as ridiculous. It would come off as absurd, as a lie. Honor. I think it needs to be talked more about in Mgtow, how your honor was violated, how your dignity was violated. And that is important, because that's the same thing they're saying to you. If you don't do this, their dignity will be violated, their honor, a judge's dignity. If you don't do this, if you don't comply with their wishes, his honorable, even in his name, your honor. We're supposed to comply to his wishes in the family courts, but he has no honor for us. He has no loyalty to us. He has no loyalty to the men. He's the white knight. He believes in that kind of honor. He believes honor by sword, which is barbaric romanticism and Victorianism, where men hacked up each other with swords. Barbaric. That's the kind of honor they have. They have not come into a new world, a new gender dynamics. They miss it. It's a flyby. It's a flyby on them. And they'll uphold those codes. And it's despicable. It's disgusting. And once you become a Mgtow, you go, nah, not playing that game. Not even going to sign up. No, I'll just sit over here and watch and laugh and point. Honor. Men need more of it, but we need more of the right kind of honor. The right kind of honor on that balance, on that bar. You can take it, everything in life you can take, and I say you put it on a bar. You don't go off the field on the bar. You put honor up there and you put no honor up there. You put man, you put a Mgtow, and then you put a no Mgtow. You don't to put a Mgtow on one end, the positive to the contrapositive. You don't put positive to the negative, or else it'll run to a false. I see that a lot. I see that a lot in Mgtow too. They put Mgtow up here on the one end of the bar, and then they go to feminism on the other end. That's the polar opposites of each other. That's the polar opposites. It's a positive to a negative. It's a false. You can't do it on the bar. You can't land somewhere on that bar between those things. It doesn't work. We Mgtows know that. Now, if I put feminism on one bar and I put females on the other side, and then women work their way up and down that bar, that would be a positive bar. It's a true and it's a true. And wherever they worked up and down that bar, I have to accept it as a true for them, at least. I don't have to like it. Like and true have nothing to do with each other. Now, if I put Mgtow on the bar and I put men on the other side of the bar, men that know of Mgtow, men that don't know of Mgtow, blue pill men and monks on one side, it would have the positive and the contrapositive. They're both the same thing. Sometimes it gets ridiculous around here. Sometimes I see honor enacted and white knighting around here. You can't say that. You can't go that far. Honor gets enacted. Sexual things. We talk about the deviants, the dolly diddlers. They have a certain brand of honor. When their honor was violated, they said, "I'm not doing nothing over with you girls. Matter of fact, I'll take it and I'll get an artificial female." An artificial female is an interesting idea. I would say it would violate my honor code as a monk, a man striving for enlightenment, at least, a philosopher. But it's a different kind of honor, and we have to accept it as men. There's a lot of different kinds of honor. You're going to get several different kinds of honor. Social honor, human dignity that derives from honor, lack of honor. But we'll deal with it here in Mgtow. We have to figure these things out. But I think in the male world of masculinity, they want to take your honor. They want to take your ego, the good parts of those things. When a man is honorable and stoic, they even want to take them. They want it all to go on. They want you to be mindless roboticons. Yes, I will protect and I will provide. That's it. What they can get from honor. What do we call that? What they can get from honor. Yeah, we have names for it. What do we call that? Yes, the roboticons. I will do as I'm told. Never question the world. All men, I think we're serious cynics in a way. We're serious cynics. We question everything for truth. We run truth tables, every human. most humans, even the stupidest human, run truth tables in their heads. Those syllogisms that run to truths, and 2.55 million a day, a day. Most humans are intrinsically, intelligent. Intellectual honor gets violated sometimes too. We see intellectual honor between scientists and philosophers, and lately we've seen some kind of intellectual honor being violated with the guy that landed the little satellite thing on an asteroid, and he was dishonored because he was wearing a silly shirt that was not of what you would think. He didn't have the white lab coat on. Interesting theory, the lab coat. Interesting theory that if you look at it, the lab coat, it just says this is a scientist. I thought about honor this morning when I was thinking about Copernicus. Copernicus was right. If you read Copernicus, I started off this morning reading Copernicus, and I realized that Copernicus wrote a book with I can't remember his name, but it's not on audiobook, and they're still demanding $36 for it. And I was like, what? This was written in 1541 by Copernicus, and that's not free. And it was not on audiobook, so I could do a quick listen. And I thought, well, that's not honorable. That's hijacking something that's free, totally free. Not honorable. People do things that aren't honorable all the time. Our government officials do things that aren't honorable. They lie to you. Most of them will. And then they'll backtrack and try to make something right here and right there and right here and right there. Claim possession of everything they do that they can make right, and then try to forget about the things that they never made right. They violate some honor codes, manipulation. We see a lot of political honor, the people, they're up in, what is that, the Proud Boys and the Antifas. Fuzz. Yeah, they should be fuzz. The Antifuzz and the Proud Soys. They want to fight political honor because one doesn't believe what the other one doesn't believe. It's pretty funny to watch, and I wish they would, because it would be massive entertainment for me. As a Mgtow would sit back and go, huh, look at those asses. But it's no boxer. Yes, Joey, there's honor in boxing. Mike Tyson bit off Holyfield's ear. He violated honor. They drummed him out. He ended up in jail. The greatest boxer of all times ended up in jail getting his face tattooed. And then he refound honor in religion. I think Mike Tyson needed religion. He found himself there. It was a good thing for Mike. But he violated an honor code that day. You don't bite a dude's ear off. No punching below the belt. There's rules in these things. Everybody knows them. I was thinking about who is that guy on the Sox, the White Sox, that Witten Bean, the guy, and I can't remember he came out and he made it 2 days in the majors. They sent him back down. The beanball. The beanball is about honor. Seen it a couple times. Boston and Baltimore last year, the Beanball Fest. Boston and the Yankees, the Beanball Fest. It's all about protecting your team's honor. A lot of sports honor. Is it a good honor or a bad honor? I don't know. I don't know about that. Be easier just not to do the beanball. But mistakes happen, an errant pitch. Try not to let that happen again, they'll say. Peace. Hello, Jetty, has ESP. The mind trick. The Jedi mind trick. I love that. I wish there was a Jedi mind trick. But we often talk about honor when we talk about females, and this is when we get into those subjects that we're not allowed to breach as men. We're not allowed to say that. Shh. Women think of honor totally different. They think about the patriarchy. They think about being small, where they can find their honor. Can they go to school? Sexual freedom, it usually comes out in. It's at odds. It's at total odds with what men want, what men believe. We want loyalty. We want monogamy. We want honor. We can't get that. We know it. You can't get loyalty in today's world of feminism. They want sexual freedom, even within the confines of marriage. So we said, hey, okay, we'll do away with that marriage thing. Won't do it no more. Then we put ourselves on equal balance. That's that balance of honor that I was talking about. There's a balance there. You have to get yourself balanced with honor. All men do. You can't live in a dishonorable situation as a man. You can't live as a cuck. You can't live as a cuck. There's sperm guarding involved with those things. Men want to know that the baby's theirs, that their DNA has been duplicated and sent off into the world like an arrow. And if that's violated, that's loyalty. You violated loyalty. You violated trust. But men will still be held to those honor codes in those situations by the law. That doesn't seem to understand honor, even though we call them your honor. Absurdity. Absurdity, I scream all the time. It's freaking absurdity. They won't regress our complaints. We've been asking for 40 years. That's dishonorable. It says in our Constitution you have to regress our complaints as men, as a nation. And they'll go, no, there's another kind of honor. It's our honor that we're going to force on you. That's not honor. You have to be loyal. That's what they're saying. In the same sense of the reverse loyalty that we say we want for women, the authoritarians are saying you have to be loyal. Is that the same kind of loyalty? Would it be treated the same way as in society if I violate that loyalty? It's just me being free and easy. Now we look at the disloyalty of females. Me, I want to be free and easy. I'm not happy no more. You violated the same kind of honor. But if I said, hey, I'm going to be free and easy, I'm going to stop paying those taxes. I'm going to stop paying, I'm going to stop being all that protector, provider. I don't want to work in society no more. I don't want to live under your rules. They'll say, no, because their honor gets violated. They'll take it as far as if you go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, you violated their honor. It's ridiculous. And then they expect that same thing from you. There's reciprocal honor. And I think that's the thing we never talk about. You never hear about it. I will treat you with this much respect and loyalty, and respect has a lot to do with honor. If you treat me with this amount of respect and loyalty, and then they violate that code like in some gangster movie, and then you're like, oh shit, no. You don't violate that code of honor. And then they wonder why Mgtow is here and the men's rights are here and PUAs do what they do. PUA is Don Juanism. It's a general answer to being disrespected. It's a response to the violation of honor codes by our government, by females. But we're not allowed to talk about that. Shh, Joe, shh. Can't say that. The girls might be listening in. They might be listening in on us. It's okay. It's okay for them to listen in. After the Civil War, we can think about honor. Males had great honor after the Civil War. It was all about honor. That's how you were judged as a man after that, between the Reconstruction period and maybe the 1910s, 1912s, the new era. There's a lot of reconstruction that needed to be done. Family farms had to be rebuilt. Women developed a stoicism in them. You can see it in that time period. But they quickly lost it and began to diddle with feminism too. There was no loyalty with them. Elizabethan Code says honor is a mechanicism that comes from farming and herding cultures, like the farm. You beat your sword into a plow and you plow your field and you protect your field, and there may be predators, lions and dogs and pigs and bunnies that want to eat your crops, locusts, human predators that want to take your family and use your wife as a penis pocket or a split V. You got to watch out for those predators on this, the Chad predators that have no honor. There's no honor in that. Protect the farm. That's for thousands and thousands of years, men did that. Protect the hunting area, the grazing areas for their cattle, so they can feed the society. That's an honorable thing. Here comes a saber-toothed tiger. I got a spear. Not much of a contest unless there's a team of us. Teamwork and honor go together. Don't violate those honor codes. We'll bring in men. We'll bring up the boys, and we'll take the boys at a young age and we'll teach them how to be men. But we're not allowed to do that anymore. We're not allowed to teach boys honor, teamwork, dependability. This is a screwed up area we're in here now. It's a screwed up area in time. Yeah, shills and simps have dishonored Mgtow. Some people say I'm a monk, but I'm at a motel engaging in things with women. I'm a monk, but I like to do that once in a while. That's dishonorable even to think about that. In that way, you're a monk or you're not a monk. If you're less than, then admit that you're less than. Then it's an honor code in Mgtow that they violate every day. They're a monk, but they're a heathen. That's absurdity. I'm married, but I'm a Mgtow. That's a more absurdity. Don't violate our codes. Our codes are there to be respected as men. Respect the men in Mgtow, and you won't invoke the honor of Mgtow. That's what we see a lot when these men come around and they're like hedonistic PUAs, and they want to tell us that all that is in life is just pumping and dumping and moving on, and that's it. That's all. It's all cynicalism and skepticism. Men are seriously skeptical. Men are seriously skeptical. All of us, we're skeptical about a lot of things. Skepticism will keep you alive in some situations. It'll be irritating in others. Overpronounced skepticism. We all see this, and immaturity with young men. I don't trust anything you say, Joe. When I'm about the, I'm about the, I'm about the, I'm about the man you should trust in this world, because I'll tell it pretty true. As true as I know it. Pragmaticism determines that I don't know everything, and no man out there knows everything. But at least I try. I read. Seems to be something on top of my water. I don't know where that came from. Hello, SFM. Hello, Mood Shangy. Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about the honor code violations. That's what got you here. That's what gets every Mgtow here. Every single Mgtow, there was a violation of his honor. But if you look around, it's so obscure. It's never defined purposely. Purposely, it's not defined by a world that does not define it for us, because they don't want honor codes being enacted. You just pay attention to somebody else's honor, your honors, the judges, that white-haired cloak-wearing bastard. He wants you to comply to his honor. His name says it, your honor. As he violates every code there is of male honor. Feminism really did us dirty, didn't they? Feminism really did men dirty. I think honor is the fifth emotion. It's stoicism, it's strength, it's courage. Courage. The courage for fight for something, freedom, liberty. To take your freedom, not to be a slave. Now they expect every man to be a slave to somebody else's honor. There's no honor in that. You're just an Uncle Tom. I see many men practicing utilitarianism and objectivism and acquiescing to that type of honor code so they can get the most, grab the most. Who can be the most? Who could be the richest? You could buy your freedom then, because riches does buy freedom at the cost of one thing, your dignity and your honor. A Mgtow would never sell his honor or his ego or his dignity or his masculinity. A Mgtow grows a beard because it's the secondary sexual characteristic of a man. And when you shave your beard off, you do a public recantation at that moment of your secondary sexual characteristic. It would be like asking a woman to hide her breasts or hide her curves. But we don't do that. So why would you ask a man to shave his fur? Because honor is their special brand of honor. You're asking to acquiesce to it, to their brand, what they think honor is. That's the roles that you play in your life, what will be accepted, what will be not accepted. I seen a man do a video the other day, I can't remember who it was, about the male beard. And they were shame and honor. Shame and honor, they're contra negatives. It doesn't run to a true. It never runs to a true. Shame is the negative of honor. But you can't be shamed if you see someone being dishonorable. I feel shame for them. Never be shamed. If you're an honorable male, you're a man above reproach. There will be no shame and nothing, except for being dishonored. But that's what they do to us. They shame us. Shave your beard, Joe, you dirty, filthy man. There's bacteria, there's flora in that beard. Now, women will look at those things and they carry 300% flora on their body. Their breasts, their underarms, their teeth are generally not the same as us. They lack during pregnancy and menstruation, that thing, their little friend, they lose enzymes in their mouth, and they carry more bacteria. Down there, they carry 300% more bacteria than a man's armpit. But they'll say the beard is full of bacteria, and we don't like that. While they carry, that's hypocritical. It's an absurdity. My beard is like a flower garden of lilacs and beautiful. But more absurdity gets piled on us every day, and they wonder why we Mgtow. Right, superhuman powers. What enacts those superhuman things that men do? The ability to jump 20 foot on a battlefield, to run and courageously run at an enemy that is trying to kill you. I've seen superhuman feats by men. Honorable things. Honor drives it. Vanity drives it sometimes. Ego drives it sometimes. Those superpowers men have, we're superhuman beings. If there is a God, he placed us on top. And even Darwinism places us as the apex predator on this planet. Maybe a little short of bacteria. Because we're finding out lately, as the morals are driven down in our society and men have no honor anymore, that bacteria is arising as, probably the apex predator. Uncurable gonorrhea, uncurable syphilis. Yeah, bacteria aurelius arose. You see, 169 people just died of it. Uncurable fungus, bacteria aurelius. But women get to call their bacteria flora. That's what they call it. They get to rename it flora. It's beautiful flora. It's like flowers in the fields. That's what I refer to my beard is for now on. Flora. Smell it. It smells like lilacs. It does. I use lilac cologne on it. It smells like lilacs. Oh, honor. How important is it to Mgtow? It's everything, I think. I think it's everything to the male world and masculinity. And until we get back to that garden, this thing's all going to be screwed up, and Mgtow's the only option until we could explain to those white knights and those simps and those beggars and those creeps, those cackling hyenas that are always waiting to take your girl. They have no honor. They have no code. They seem to be the guys that we ostracize. We throw a shard in the ostacon to ostracize them. That's what that's about. The Greek shards, boom, in the ostrakon. It was to ostracize the dishonorable ones. It's tapered all through history. We look at the Ides of March that just happened, or happened 2,000 some years ago. Caesar was dishonorable. But to be honorable, guess what? The whole Congress had, each one of them had to pick up a knife and stab Caesar once or twice because you had honor and you had to show team spirit. That must have been something. Wish I could have witnessed it. There's a million stories. Beowulf. Beowulf. I thought I had written that down, but it got removed by I don't know why it's not down there. There's the story of Beowulf. Beowulf was looking for honor. Grendel, he had to slay Grendel because of his king. He had to be that man, that honorable male. In that sense, honor is good. Beowulf. What a great story to provoke masculinity in boys. But I suppose if you asked a lot of people in this world today, they would say, oh, Beowulf, what a horrible story. But it's about honor. It's about men. It's about masculinity. Yeah, yeah. I have a strong immune system too now. I eat kefirs. I use kefir grains. And I take all the suggestions that brave Mgtows give to me about lifestyle and keeping healthy, and the honor code we have among us about, kefir helps, probiotics, yogurt, you can do it. I now even soak my chicken in kefir so I can have Indian food. Yeah. If you don't know about kefir, get some, try it. It's good. It's great for you. Beowulf and Grendel. Yeah. What a great battle about honor. A lot of stories. Yeah. Beowulf, Grendel, Archimedes, Achilles. What was his foe? We look at Achilles and his foe. I can't remember his name offhand. They were both honorable. They were both fighting for their honor. And a woman that was what? Less than virtuous. Archimedes was, who was the Agamemnon was the king, and he had lost his female. So he sent Achilles and his army to take care of that honor that he had lost. Now, in the modern spin of that, the weasel that had taken his female, and they spun him to have honor in a PUA-ish way, have some kind of thing. He wasn't honorable. He had started a war. Yeah, every story ever been. Alexander the Great about honor, male honor. Baseball, football, all sports, hockey, soccer. Honor is involved with that. A certain honor code of rules are enacted. The rules of war. What is war? I read from my book at the beginning. What is war and what is a man? But hence, we don't have a philosophy of it. I think that's what Mgtow breaches on when they talk about masculinity. They talk about the philosophy of honor that has not been written yet, and it needs to be tried under fire. And that's what's happening right now. They're trying men under fire. We're trying to develop the code of honor back into our society where loyalty is valued. Loyalty is valued. I think that's what Mgtow's about. The courage to pick a side and say, yeah, I'm an honorable male. I'm a male above reproach. I would laugh in the face of a Me Too accusation. We look for our fathers There's an honor in our fathers, respecting our fathers, respecting that wisdom and that age. They want to take that away from the millennial. They want to emasculate them, demasculate them. They want them to be several different genders at the same time. No, a man is a man, and he looks like a man. He acts like a man. He has the gender parts of a man, and that's it. And honor has a lot to do with it. I think that's what we're writing right now in Mgtow. The code of honor. We're rewriting it because they destroyed it. It'd be an interesting question, who destroyed honor with men? Feminism was a reaction to whatever honor they had perceived being violated, greed, and, inequality as they perceive inequality. And honor will battle honor. That's the way it always works. A lot of questions in there. I think I'm going to breach these this week, so that's going to be my topic, and you'll get sick of me saying it. You'll get sick of me saying it. But we'll take each one. We'll take social honor. We'll take desire. We'll take loyalty. We'll take all those things, and we'll look at them. Short segments, probably. And we'll talk about them, gender dynamics, the honor and gender dynamics. Mainly, that's our concern. How do we get back to the garden? How do we get back to the garden? We've strayed so far. I think it's going to take men of honor and courage, like Mgtows, to say things that aren't popular. It's going to be a nice weekend. It was nice. It started off 73 degrees yesterday, and I was happy. I was looking up at a ball in the sky. It was orange and yellow, and it provided some heat and some warmth, and I didn't know what it was because I haven't seen it for so long. I was like, what's that? I'm just joking. It was the sun. But that went away today, and we're back to the garden is burnt. Yeah, some would say the garden is burnt. There's no going back. This could be a truth. But is it a reason why men should not have honor still? No, I think it's where we find ourselves and we rebuild a new garden. Maybe that's of metal and flesh and bones and wood and things men use to build, nails. But unless we find honor on this planet, this thing ain't going to work. Because we'll fight. So with that, unless anybody wants to come in and talk about honor, what they believe in honor is, we could do that if you guys want. We are focused. Yes, we are focused. Hello, Jetty and Prune, SFM and Joey. Al Capone. Hello, Al. Al Capone. We were talking about honor in the sense of gangsters today. The Godfather. What's my favorite one? That one that's with Ray Liotta. I can't remember which one that one was with Ray Liotta. His wife dishonored him, and she felt the world at the end. She felt the world at the end come down on her and dishonor and how she'd be treated. I feel that way sometimes. With the ending of my marriage, I was dishonored, and sometimes the world punishes people for. The world's a cruel place for people that don't know any honor. I can come in. Let me try out your new headsets. Okay. Okay. Let me. Oops! I almost pressed the wrong one. I did. I did. Uh, let's see if you come up on the. Nope, you don't come up. Isn't that screwed up? I hate when that happens. I'll just copy and code it and send it to you on the Hangout area. Club Hoka. Nope. Cyber. I'll send it to you. Cyber Monk and Unknown. That one. Are you still in there? Unknown. Yeah. Cancel. Paste. There we go. I think that'll get you in. But today we're talking about honor in men and all the good things about that. There's a lot of good things in honor in men that could come from that. A lot of good things come from it, and a lot of bad things too. Like I said, there's a balance. There's a balance. Yeah. There's a balance within it. If you go overboard with honor and you're willing to fight with swords with another man till his death, that's not a good thing. That's barbaric. It's not reasonable to ask a man to what is that? That's Cyber Monk. Hello, Cyber Monk. Yeah, honor. Ask a man to give his life for honor. That's not a reasonable thing. I'm going to have to plug in too on my headsets. I got the $1.99 headsets from Kmart because I have a whole bucket full of old broken headsets. Hello, Cybermonk. Do you have volume?
Yeah, I just got a message, and I didn't know who who it was from. So I'm glad I clicked on it, and I'm glad it was you.
Okay, yeah, it was me. My earphones aren't working. That's weird. Let me see. Okay, speaker out. Oh, I got to choose inline mic in headphones. Let's see if this one works. Okay, let's try this again. Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, it's still coming out wrong. Yeah, okay, let me unplug these. I'll try to deal. If you get any echo or feedback, it's on my end. Sometimes this computer, someone renegotiated my computer. So what do you think about male honor?
Oh, that's a lost art.
That's a law. Yeah, it is a lost art. Back in, there was a deformed sort of honor back in the age of Romanticism and Victorianism and that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah. In today's world, people will lie to you when the truth would help them. It's just, I don't know. You've got to really know someone. You really know what type of person they are to trust someone and realize they have honor.
Yeah, honor, and we talk about the big thing in Mgtow is honor and loyalty and sexual gender dynamics. We expect loyalty, and we can't really, I don't know if we can expect that anymore.
I think Mgtow men are cut above. Instead of a nice fantasy, they have logic and reason.
Yeah,
And therefore, I think that goes along with honor.
Honor. Yeah.
And of course, self-respect.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's good reasons for honor too. I think in a world which we live in right now, it's almost assumed that men have no good reasons why we have an honor code with mating. We don't want to be cucks. We don't want to be raising other men's kids. Women see that differently. They see it as it doesn't matter. You should just kind of jump on that job and do it.
Yeah. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Because
Got
I've
good
been
sound.
these are I just took these out the box. Just took them
Ooh,
out the box. Yeah, I know. And because someone was bitching about my audio, and I forgot the headphones I was using. Those were actually supposed to be my backup pair, and my main ones I forgot to order them because of all the other shit I had going on, stuff I had going on. And
yeah.
so I just remembered. I'm like, let me try these. And they're RGB. Well, you know what's great about RGB is so the lights are on the outside of the headphones, so I can't see the flashing lights at all, so they're useless.
Okay, yeah, yeah. You see what I'm doing back here?
Yeah, I know RP's mad. He's just like, what? What is this?
I got a rear projector, and I'm going to do the rear projector from it, but I can't figure out how to invert the. I got it today at like 2 hours before this started.
Yeah.
And so I tore the other one down real quick, and I was like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But I couldn't get it to do the inverted thing from the rear projector.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And so I'm going to figure that out this week. And there's a setting somewhere on there. I just have to find it.
Is my audio good on this one? Or
Your
is it
audio
too
is great.
loud?
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
I'm trying to move because this one of those is not a flexible mic. I'm used to the flexible mic, so I can just bend them out
Yeah.
the way.
This.
This is the ones where I gotta move it. Yeah, I gotta move the goddamn mic, and I'm just like, yeah, this is good. I don't know
Yeah.
how loud I'm being.
Yeah, I think everybody's sound is really good. It's nice to have a nice equal balanced sound between the panel because no one overshadows anybody else, and it just makes it better.
Oh,
But your sound's good, and you sound really clear.
well, I told you, brand new. I literally just opened the box. I'm
Which
like,
ones
yeah.
did you buy?
It was there's a Corsair Void Pro somethings.
Okay.
It's of course gaming headset because
Yeah,
I know like what about the mic though? I'm like no.
yeah, you want a game?
Well, no, because it makes it easier for me because like literally if you were to see my setup, you'd be like, hey, you need a desk, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get a desk when I stop using my desk for what I use my desk for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And my desk is filled with a bunch of shit right now, and ain't no way in hell I'm doing that.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. So, what do you feel about honor? When you first came in here, was your honor violated in certain ways?
Oh, it's one of those things where that sense of understanding, that sense of morals, the sense of everything that you try to stand by, but it's like everyone won't let you.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah,
telling you when it's violated that no, that's perfectly fine. You need to be this way.
yeah. You
You
need
need
to
to just
be
go along and do this anyways.
the other way. Their honor, and they
But
want
no,
to
this
use.
isn't about honor. It's about greed.
It's about greed. They want what they want from us, and they want protection. They want provisions. They want resources. They want us to always act in that way, but they don't want to be loyal.
Well, no, they don't see. That's why when you've known this because I've talked to you since I first came around like years ago, and it's one of the things that I was mad about. I was like, they're saying this, but that's not what they're really saying. They're lying. They're
They're
lying to your
lying.
face.
They're lying about that. Yeah, and it's one of those subjects with when I was listening to a cassette, not a cassette, that's old time, audio book about honor today.
Yeah.
The guy was afraid to breach that subject. He was afraid to breach that lie, even in the books, even with the soffits, even with the guys of great intelligence. They're afraid. Like Jordan Peterson,
I know why.
he's always afraid to breach that say no. They're lying about that. That's illogical the way they do that.
I know why, and it's quite simple. Has anybody ever just raise your hand if you've seen me anywhere where popular dudes talk about shit that we talk about, that I talk about, or any of us talk about? You haven't, and you know why you won't? It's because there's a simple reason. You cannot go through life bluntly
Mhm.
speaking the truth and holding everyone to like the same standard, with leaving no exemptions even on yourself,
Right,
because that cold truth that you put forth, people will always attack those who seek to push that forward
right,
as like casual as a breakfast conversation.
right. Now,
They don't like it.
Yeah. Now, our kind of honor that we talk of stoicism in males with the honor that we have, we're not asking for nothing, are we?
No, I don't want shit from anybody. I've been said that.
Yeah, we're not saying that you're going to have to pay me for this. They can pay us, and those payments come into metaphysical and reform and respect and loyalty. You know, you know, loyalty and respect. That's how you pay someone. You honor them in that sense, and that's what we're
Loyalty is
talking.
not the same as servitude. Everybody remember that because people
Yeah,
get it
loyalty is
confused.
not servitude, but they
They
think
get it
loyalty.
confused so quick.
Yeah, they get it confused really quick. Loyalty is servitude to them, and no, it's payment due for you're asking for a payment,
It's
and maybe
reciprocity, basically.
it's reciprocity. It's reciprocal honor. I want reciprocal honor.
And that's like it's like basically like there's plenty of people and I they don't understand. Like I'm talking about this is in real life. I don't want anything back from them. They never understand the part. I don't want nothing back.
Yeah,
But you can see they want to pay what's owed. They want to pay it forward in some type of way or something. If they can't do it for me, they want to push it forward somewhere else. And I'm like, well, good. That was my intention. I didn't need
yeah,
anything. I was just like, oh, I got an abundance of this. Oh, oh, here you go. And then I just kept moving. And I want you to do is you use that appropriately and you keep moving yourself.
right, right. And men give that to each other. When you see some male do a act of a Superman, that to courage, we go, man, dude, you're the man. That was fist bumps all around. We give that respect, and we remember that respect. Uh, it's like that mafioso kind of honor. You remember that kind of respect.
Well, yeah. Well, my thing is, I think what a lot of guys, what really is, it's got to be the hurting moment, is when you realize that like a lot of the younger guys, they're being pushed away towards looking at that as something to live up to or something to look
Right.
forward to. As like a standard of quality.
Yeah, the standard of honor nowadays is slightly lesser. It's protector, provider. If she does something wrong, you forgive her. If she violates the loyalty, you forgive her. And there's a forgiveness. There's the presupposition, the presuppositions of forgiveness in that, isn't there? There's a lot of other things that they're adding presuppositions to what they believe honor is.
Oh, because it goes on the whims of being a servant.
Servant, yeah, servitude, and
Yeah, that's why I use that word so much because after a while, what I came to, what I understood, what was really being asked of,
yeah,
and what was supposed to be given to, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, you don't get anything back.
yeah. Social order too. Social order demands us to be honorable in these sense, like I was talking about with the judges.
Yes,
Social order. If you violate that, but your honor, the judge, your honor in his very name will dishonor you.
yes. Well, because again, it goes down to a point, and this is where you know that it's not really a justice-based society,
Yeah,
is because if it was actually justice-based, that means honor and merit would be the highest holdings of things, and that means if you know
right.
within that sense, you do not do something that is unhonorable or basically that is not within the realms of actual balanced justice, and
Hmm.
then you yourself be exempt from those things. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
No,
And you yourself.
eventually, yeah,
That's the
eventually
act
you
of
would,
tyranny when you
yeah,
yourself consider yourself exempt from justice. You're
yep.
the tyrant.
Yes, but now we are actually in a time where that is perfectly fine as long as you are feeding the beast.
As long as you're feeding the beast. Yeah, if you can skirt some ways to do that. If I become a billionaire through like selling drugs or and then I start being altruistic and to
I
you
don't
can
know
buy back or do some
politics. Oh,
politics.
it's just so crazy, man. I swear he was a drug kingpin. No, man, you don't know. He's his campaign manager. What are you
He's
talking
a
about?
campaign manager. Yeah. Yeah. We look at William Barr right now and how he negotiated the sale of drugs for, who was it, Bush Jr. or Bush Sr. For the release in Iran, the guns in Iran through the sale of drugs and how that never came out. And we were so, at that time, I was a soldier at that time working in the war on drugs, and I was so dishonored.
Well, that's how they did business.
Yeah, but somehow they perceive that as how they do business.
Well, it's easy. It's easy. It's distraction. The oldest trick in the book, and you do that, of course, because I don't want you to pay attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I need you to look at everybody else over there while we get the real work done. We need to get the real work
Yeah,
done over
here's the
here.
real
Where
work.
y'all focus on, they don't matter. Y'all just focus on those things over there. Okay.
Yeah, we thought that the real work was the guy that put the girder in and welded it up there 100, 200 feet in the air and then dropped the cement, and then that guy gets to sit on that. I thought that was the honorable work. I thought that was the man. That dude. That's the dude. The picture of the dude sitting on the girders eating their lunch.
Man, and also I got a problem with heights. So when I look at those pictures, I be like, man, that. Whew.
Man, I got up. When you look at that, and a little tear doesn't come to your eye as a man, and you go, man, those dudes are just. Whoo.
Well, it makes me mad. It makes me mad sometimes, and I'm not dissing anybody, nothing like that. But they get mad at like some Mgtows, like I guess now you can call us old schools. It's weird that I get to put myself in that category, which annoys me. It heavily. I'm like, what? Hold on, what? But all right. Anyways, no, because apparently, like, not understanding a lot of the things that are going on, especially within like the social narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the legal system and all that. I earlier, because I be lurking and observing a lot.
Yeah.
I got to watch.
The lurk.
And it was two chicks typing to a dude, and he was listening. I swear to God, he was listening to this about how he can go out and get some quick and easy sex, and it would there was no risk. And I'm sitting there like, yeah. Again, this guy has a problem with me. He has an issue with me, right? But when it comes down to these women telling him that, he's like, oh, but I mean, I gotta listen to them. They're women. They make sense. You're just crazy.
Yeah, no risk in that. Uncurable gonorrhea has no honor.
A false rape or a DV. Again, a lot of guys don't understand. And I try to point this out. And this maybe seem like the most extreme path, but you need to understand this because that culture is not gone in there. If you go to jail or prison for rape, do you know what they will do to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you actually you can say you didn't do it. No one cares.
Right. We look at the guys that were accused, the Me-Tooers that were accused of that. And even though it was proven that they didn't do it, that stigma still follows them. They violated some honor code. And that stigma still follows them in the media. And, they lose opportunity. They lose jobs. They lose.
They become unemployable.
They become unemployable. And that's not just these. We use these people that are the media stars.
Yeah.
But this goes down to, I know guys in my neighborhood that had to go through that event, and everybody always in the back of their mind would be thinking, that guy, no. I don't care what the judge said. I don't care if he was proven innocent. I have to be careful with that guy. And that's that stigma that always follows them.
Are you saying that I was kind of confused because you mentioned women and honor in the same sentence, and that's what threw me up.
There's a sort of honor that goes along, and if you look at feminism and you look at what they're saying, they say they perceive that they've been dishonored. They perceive that it's their perception, and like I said, you got to keep the things on the same bars, and it's feminism on this side of the bar and female. It has nothing to do with maleism or masculinity. They perceive on the opposite end. It's like the white knight perceives that he's been dishonored too, or the simp perceives that he's been. Well, I don't even know if the simp could be. When you got a war happening, both sides. Like I said with Agamemnon, I can't pronounce that guy's name. And when Achilles was sent for his honor, but on the other side there was the great warrior, and he was perceiving his honor because he had to protect his little brother. So we can see these things work out where honor against honor. But Nietzsche talked about that too in the Superman, in the Uberman. He talked about the Uberman will get another Uberman, and then they'll have to fight.
Oh yeah, that's inevitable. Actually, men. As men, like that's one thing a lot of guys never understood. And I remember when I was having a conversation, or I was doing a stream, and I guess nobody really caught what I was saying when I was talking about inevitably what will happen is the past will intersect.
Yeah.
And in life, yeah, you can take that to a lot of different things. But with the point where I was pointing out, because remember, again, I'm talking to a lot of guys who, if anybody knows about my streams, which you don't, um, I'm talking literally to an audience of probably like, I don't know, like 40 dudes maybe.
Mhm.
And everybody, we all know each other. They all know what I'm talking about. They know in reference to. And I was speaking about basically in life, walking by oneself towards the goals in the path that you're on in the journey. Yeah, it'd be dope if you had somebody there with you, but the problem is you can't, because inevitably
Right.
those paths, they will intersect to become in conflict.
In
Because
conflict, right? Yeah.
yes,
So
there's
there's
going
a
to be
lot of
something.
conflict in
Yeah.
it, and that's what I talk about when I talk about the gender dynamics problem, where we're experiencing it in cyber had. Yeah. So there is an honor. We noticed that as an honor after, like, what was the best period of time after the Civil War. Women acted, and they wouldn't violate them codes, and they even their stature was different. The way they dressed, the way they acted was
Yes.
more noble.
It was a much more religious time back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, so they can have honor, and that's what the feminist perceives as honor, but her perception of honor is generated from her biology.
Oh, it's on the sacrificial level, on basically the servitude level. Because then
Yeah,
the man is a tool and a utility, a means to an end, and that's
right.
all he stands as.
That's what she perceives for you, and that's what we get in conflict with. You're perceiving, no, you do your honor on your bar, and then I'll take Mgtow and men on my bar, which are positive, contrapositive, and we'll do that, and then you do your feminism and women and on your bar, but we never get off the field. That's where I often say we get off the field with we put Mgtow and feminism on, but that's a negation. One's
Oh
negative
well,
to the
the
other.
individual man versus the woman wanting a slave.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't do those arguments because we know logically that a true and a false can never equal a true.
Well,
It-
the problem is actually actually I can equate that to this too.
Mhm.
The paths can never meet. The paths can
Oh
never
yeah,
go like parallel to each other. They always will. They immediately bump heads
right.
off
The,
the rip,
the
because
past is in
they
the
hold
past.
no. Neither one of them. Like, let's say if we were to call feminism philosophy in a sense,
Mhm.
the philosophy of the empowered woman. I
Yeah,
guess that's how they try to run it. Well, the thing is, your empowerment comes directly taking away from the freedom and individuality of myself.
right. Yeah,
So therefore, they cannot coexist.
we get included in that thing, and we're not included in any way. We should just ignore it. That's why I say ignore it, let it go. They'll do their thing. They'll figure it out sooner or later that this works better if they. And there's no bad thing about a strong woman. If a strong woman is a strong woman, then she's a strong woman, and she could do that.
Well, no. Here's my issue.
You
I
know,
have with the whole. I have with the phrase itself, "strong woman."
yeah, but when it comes at our expense, that's when
Well,
we
because that's the problem right there. In
yeah,
fact, a lot of men have pointed that out. They've
yeah,
been irritated for the longest about that. You can't call you're a strong one. All right. Do you know what a strong woman is to a man? Strong woman to a man is you're feminine.
yeah.
You play your role to the best of your abilities.
Right. You're accountable. You're responsible.
Like, no, that's not a woman's role. So she plays the female. She plays the female role, the feminine role, as in kids, house, take care of that, do what you got to do.
Right.
I'm here, but hey, understand I'm human. Just hold this down while I got all this.
Yeah.
But hey, you just
hold this down.
hold this part down.
Yeah.
That's
then,
it.
1950s, my man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
screw
And there's
that. Even
something.
in the 1950s, that wasn't a thing, because even then they were
No,
getting
yeah.
the dudes were getting backhanded then.
I think we get too wrapped up in that 1950s things because 1950s were pretty horrible. It was
No, because
post-war.
remember 1950, that's around the time they projected that
Yeah,
out.
they're
They projected it
projecting
out,
that.
but that's not what was happening.
Yeah, there was a
It
lot
was
of things.
already the start. Remember, because if 1920s is when already that roaring
Right.
feminism crap started. So 1950s, think about, yeah, yeah, I know the war just ended, blah, blah, all this other stuff, but still, the war ended. The feminism never stopped.
Right. Yeah. Now we can even go as far back as Babbitt. In 1912, we could read the book Babbitt, and his daughter was a feminist, and Babbitt was breaking from the social norms. And even in the book Babbitt, the community, which was the Rotary Club at that time,
Yeah.
He described it as a Rotary Club. Thought he was doing dishonorable acts by dishonoring his wife, and his daughter was this feminist. So back 1912, and even farther into the Reconstruction period.
Well, shit. Take it back to the 1800s with
Yeah.
certain laws that
Oh,
were
yeah.
going
We
on
could
that
go
men
back
were
to
passing.
yeah. Mary Wollstonecraft's Mary was all about her perceived idea, and that's what it is. It's a perceived idea of being dishonored.
And this is where I don't like. All right, so the quote, smart people talk about, ideas. Dumb people talk about
Yeah.
people, and yeah, that sounds cool, but you can't apply every quote and thought to everything, every situation, or everything like that. Because in reality, yeah, you can have a woman spouting off, you can have a dude spouting off about these ideas. Does that make them good? No.
Right. No, it doesn't. No, yeah. We put together life in the best package we can and develop the best ideas we can given the information we're given. And that's all we can expect. Like I say, pragmatism says we don't know everything. I can only zero in on that target. That's the only thing I can do. And sometimes I will be wrong.
Well, no, that's the thing a lot of guys don't get. So I've talked to I've been wandering around Discord. It is a disturbing place. That is
Oh God, yes it is.
Jesus Christ. And so one of the things that I find hilarious, because again, they've never heard like a 7-hour stream or some shit like that. I don't exist. I don't exist. I'm just some random acronym just floating around. And so one of the things I find that is quite hilarious is, as far as their thoughts are, you got a lot of people saying they're not normie. They're the red pill,
Okay.
or they're not a normie, they're not this and all that. Lies. Complete lies. The moment you put it to the test of thinking outside of the box, it's over with.
Right. Yeah, they'll go back to the social norms to rely on the social norms as their
Oh no, they'll try
protector.
to put you in the box. I've had a few people. They in their ways, I guess they try to dominate me, which in boring ways and fashions. And I'm sitting there like, you're basically children. Stop playing with me.
Right. Yeah. I just, my favorite term when arguing with a Mgtow, first you must add a presupposition, and that's begging the question. So they say, Mgtow, you're this or you're this, and that's their thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always that presupposition to it, and they're begging the question about what they're thinking at that point and how they think about things. It's I say every time you talk, you're just telling about yourself.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. You're telling about your mind and how you think about things and everything. But then they always go to the ad hominem after that.
Oh no, man! I've been blocked by so many people on Discord. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. I don't even entertain. Most of the time, I don't even entertain arguments like that anymore, because it's all based on somebody else's thought about what I should be.
Oh no! See, my thing is that what you should be doing, what you should be, what all that. And I'm like, no, that's boring, because a lot of times, like you've known me for enough years, you know that normally if you've known, like if I'm familiar with typing to you or something like that, I'll just pop out with some shit I'm thinking. This is thought random. It's like that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, all right, let me clear it up.
That's real Discord. That's what it's supposed to be about. The real Discord of, I'm going to give a thought here, and then we're going to work on that thought. We're going to run through it. There'll be opposition to the thought.
Nope.
We do it like men.
That's not how that happened. That's not how that happened anywhere. They're like, it's incoherent. We can't understand. You don't make any sense.
Yeah, that was
fun. Like, yeah, I get it. To y'all, of course, I get it. Of course, you would think I don't make any sense because you don't fucking what?
But yeah, then we see absurdity and we go, oh.
Oh no, honestly, I find it's very fun, because I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I like being the observer role. But the problem is with that observer role is people don't normally let you just come around, sit silently and look. No one likes that.
Yeah, that's what lurking's all about. So a lot of podcasts. I come home, turn on a podcast, and if one's on, and I just silently sit there and listen, and develop some thoughts on my own. I don't have to participate. I was invited to participate anyways. My thoughts are not relevant to that conversation, but I just sit and listen, and I learn, and I make my own judgments on things. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know how some people are, but whatever.
Yeah,
but my thing is that the observer role, I've always found that to be it's not a default role for me, really. But it's really just one of the ones that I found to be the most optimal
Yeah.
gathering, information and getting a better
Right.
outlook on things.
Yeah. When was the last time you read a book and at one point in the book you looked up and you go, you really think that? I mean, you got to eliminate those things and let
Yeah.
them go. They got to roll off your back. And because every single book you're going to read, you're going to think at one point, you really think that?
Yeah. Well, my thing is that's one of the things I'm trying. Like, 'cause, I've been doing this for years. I've been trying to get rid of that whole thing of I used to have a bit of an issue with listening to differing opinions or complete stupidity and not saying anything. So I'm trying to get into that form of listening to somebody be completely retarded, say some really stupid stuff, or just go on about whatever they, think and all that, and just shut up, just not say anything. Don't correct them at all, and just be like, that was a good conversation, and then just walk away.
Just walk away. Yeah, that's the Mgtow form. That was the first form of Mgtow that I gave when it started. Is man, we're not going to play those romantic era ages of slashing each other up as swords. We're just gonna do the Stoic thing and say that's barbaric. Marriage is barbaric. You guys are absurd, and we're walking away. And that's our form of honor.
Well, my thing, yes, because basically, I don't really understand Stoicism to the T. But one thing I can say a facet of it is, yes, understanding and adapting with what things are going on.
Yeah.
Sort of like in a sense, like that old Bible quote about serenity. The
Right.
things you cannot change,
Right.
but just add that part of I adapt to and move forward.
I adapt to it, and I can be. You know what it is? It's about sometimes it's about taking the high road. And I can take the high road. I can do that.
Everybody remember he said sometimes. Don't die on your goddamn knees.
Yeah, don't die on your knees. Sometimes you can take the high road and go, I'll give you guys space enough to reconsider your thoughts, and I'll give you guys space enough to take the high road on this one and not interject what I feel right now. And that's a good quality in a man, to give people space enough to figure these things out for themselves, especially Mgtow.
Yeah. So, as far as it goes, I want a lot of guys to really remember, getting outside their comfort zone isn't bad, but the thing is, I want you to understand, don't be in, because I talked about this some years ago. When you're in that place, it's almost like you're in that void, like there's a void,
Mm-hmm.
and you're easily susceptible to any amount of influence that sounds good, something that can give you direction, because you just did so much work on deconstructing bad ideals and identities that it's just you're sitting there just like flabbergasted on the way. You're going about your regular day. You seem normal and everything, but part of you just knows, like, damn, what am I doing?
Yeah, like you said, it's a Mgtow's a philosophy. We do deconstruction, and with that, we have to do reconstruction. We have to do, reductionalism on that. Reduce it down to the commons, and then look at it, deconstruct it. That's what Kierkegaard would do: is to take everything put it up, take it off the table, put each thing back on the table where it makes sense.
Yeah, like I'll give an example. So one day I'm sitting back, I forgot what I was doing. I was doing something. I can't remember. It wasn't like that late at night, but it's kind of late for me. And then I got a call from somebody, and guy I used to talk to a long time ago, streams and shit like that. And so we're sitting there having conversations like how you been, all this other shit. But basically what it sounded like was he just refound religion.
Yeah.
That was it. So basically, when all that other stuff went away, he just basically repurposed it with religion.
Repurposed it, right? Yeah, yeah. That's when you have these existential crises, and what are you going to reach out for? You're going to reach out for the tried and the true of traditionalism,
Well,
and a lot
for
of guys,
him, that was the most comfortable, though. You got
that
to
was
think
the
about
most comfortable, and you're going to take the one that you're most comfortable with, in that you tell on yourself too.
Oh yeah, because in a sense, there's some things that I'll put like this: in this existence, the one you get, there are some things people are not willing to give up at all.
Right.
Period. They will let everyone die over it.
Right. Yeah, that's your violations of dignity. I think MGTOWs, especially if you got one thing you're going to die with as a MGTOW, at least die with your dignity and let it be that.
Yeah. Well, look, dude, don't kill everybody over your dignity.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a different argument there about
Yeah.
we're not
But
going to
no, as far as having dignity
violence.
though, and dying on your feet,
Yeah,
you know,
you keep your dignity.
living with your shoulders up and your posture correct.
Right, you keep your dignity by walking away from that argument sometimes, and walking away from the violence, walking away from all the absurdity. You keep your dignity in that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like again. I look at I remember I was sitting in the break room one time, and I normally don't do that because I like
Mm,
I just I'm like I don't. Oh man, there's so many people. I'm out. I'm out. I can't do this. It's horrible. And did that chick just look at my bulge? Oh, I'm out of here. Anyways,
yeah,
no, but there was something on TV, and it was like some like talk show dating, whatever the hell. And I'm like, what did they just say? And they were basically promoting like sort of like cuckism, and this was like just on regular TV. And
oh,
yeah,
cucking.
yeah. And I looked around at some of the older guys' faces. I could see it in their face.
Right,
Like some of them, only some of them.
some of them
There
are
was
cucks.
there was you could tell who realized the lies. Like you could tell who saw as lies and like that's a lie. That's some bull crap. That's not how you be a man.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, and then you look at the younger dudes, and the younger dudes, they sitting there just simping. They just punked out, in their minds, what you do is you go out and you basically just crap on every other dude, and you make sure the women see you as great. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah, that's a strange culture there, and it has no honor in it.
Nah, that's this culture of basically
Yeah,
goddess
that's
worship.
objectivism in the goddess. We see when Jordan Peterson he uses the archetype female in that, and he leaves it at that, an open end sort of discussion that's kind of obscure in its sense, but that's what he's talking about when he talks about that thing men do. It's
One thing I've started to realize is at any time when a man talks about the virtues of being a man and the things to being a man and shit like that, and how you be strong and a lot of morals and everything like that, if they bring in the contrast of the female perspective to that
right.
and a sense of how that adds to how you should go about it,
Yeah,
they can go F themselves.
yeah. At least that's off the table. It's off the field from if
That has
you
nothing to do with it.
yeah,
Here's the
that's
thing.
nothing to do. That was
Women
the
are
simple,
background. I don't know if a lot of guys know this. Women are background noise.
yeah. It's the simple argument of if this be a truth, and then if you're taking a negative to that, that's not a truth. That's a negative to it. So it can't possibly work out to a true. It's a
No, you're
simple
saying that
mathematical
if
equation.
this negative applies to this, then this truth cannot exist.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what they're saying. Your truth doesn't exist if I bring in this other truth, and then that
Which
becomes the battle.
the subjective female truth.
Yeah,
You're trying to tell me that's supposed to mean something to my existence.
right. Yeah. What I think it's subjective female truth, but very subjective. But
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. Like, yeah, the female truth is extremely subjective.
that's
Well,
off the field to the argument. We were talking about masculinity, and
Thank you.
why
That
would
has nothing to do with the female lens. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cybermonk.
no, I was saying okay, feminists say they're for equal rights, but yet they protest men's rights events.
Yeah,
It's about basically it's like this. So in a sense, you have to have either one truth or the other.
right.
So that's what Travis was going on, like one truth or the other. And so either you have the male truth or the female truth. And with a lot of guys, what they end up doing is they're saying, but
But
they're like, yeah, but she and these other goddesses, their truths are saying that yours are not correct.
yeah,
Change my mind. And it's like,
yeah.
what?
That's like saying we're having a discussion on tanks, and then the guy goes, "But Jeeps, they're so fast."
It's like that doesn't do no. It's like no.
You're off the field.
Yeah. It's like if somebody boot him out of here, who let him in here?
Yeah, submarines. Submarines are bigger than tanks.
Number one, did everybody forget about Zeppelins?
Yeah, Zeppelins. Them things are cool. They float. But it's not about tanks.
No, it's 100% about we're talking about tanks themselves,
Yeah,
and we're not all the like all the contrast and the contraries or whatever competing you're trying to do with it. No, that's not important at the moment because we're talking about this one thing here.
right.
Talking
Yeah,
about this one thing
like
here
one
and
thing.
all the objectivity to it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
what we're talking about here. We're talking about masculinity. We're talking about men's issues, masculinity, which are the same bar. Men's issue, masculinity. You can put those two on the same bar and talk about them. And
Oh no, they're saying oh no, what they're saying is that you have to include Jeeps.
you have to include Jeeps in that. Yes, that's what they're saying, and we don't have to. And it's an illogical argument.
Oh no, because it's not rooted in logic.
But on our end too, when we include, I'm a male rights activist and I'm going to be anti-feminist, we're including a different argument into that, and it doesn't make no sense to me. It's like, no, we just simply talk about male rights. What are male rights?
Well, I don't know about that, but a lot of times, a lot of conversations I have with like a lot of the mofos I'll be talking to and all that, we don't care about that.
Yeah,
Because the
them are
truth
ones
is, like,
that,
we're gonna talk about the truth is like number one, if you talk about like, yeah, but what about the male right to due process? We laugh. We literally laugh. We're like, yeah, all right.
yeah. When did
Anyways,
that
let's
happen?
move on.
Yeah,
Let's move on. That's not important because a lot of the things is it's like this. All right, so you can talk about what should, or you can talk about what
yeah.
is,
What should be is not what is sometimes, and
and so
yeah.
it's not important to talk about. Oh, what should it be? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but what is
Well,
though?
there's a lot of things that should be, but it's just not reality. Rocks should be softer.
It'd be nice if I ever fell, if I ever slipped and hit my head on a rock. It was way softer,
If it was
like a
like
Nerf,
a
like a
pillow,
Nerf.
rocks should be more
Yeah.
like pillows, man.
But that's not the case. And
But
so my
that's
thing
not
is,
the
there's no
case.
point in because it's almost like that's the reason why a lot of people they really piss me off because I'm like, no, don't talk about how it should be because yeah, I get that that's cool. I understand why you want to talk like that, but no, let's focus on what it actually is
Yeah,
because
but that's a
focus
lot
on
of
what it
the
actually
arguments we
is
get,
way more important.
the way things should be, the optimum life or the optimum conditions and everything. And that's great and fine and dandy, but keep on the field of that. And if we're going to talk about, maybe some other day we'll talk about that.
But right now, we need to talk about how things actually are, what it actually
Right.
is at the moment. Like a lot of guys, that's the reason why men's rights. How many Mgtows do you know even talk about that? Even
Mhm.
use that term really? It
Right.
barely even gets brought up.
It's barely even a term anymore because we know that we used to do this thing with we used to do one of the couple of the videos early in Mgtow and everything was movie men's rights. We're going to talk about a father's rights, and
Yeah,
then do you go search for that movie and everybody go, there is no father's rights here.
because
Where's
there is
that movie at?
none at
And it will
all.
go, exactly, there is no father's rights.
Exactly. Well, no, like I remember I was doing a stream and literally I forgot what it was. I forgot the article and everything, but I can remember at one point I just highlighted a certain sentence. I'm like, yeah, do you understand? It doesn't matter if they can't prove you guilty or anything like that. They literally are telling you out loud, hey, men can't have kids.
Men can't
That's
have it.
all. The state and the women, yeah, they can have kids,
Right.
but you don't? No.
You don't have one. And people, oh my God, people just rail against me on that. Like I'm saying something that's not true because they want to be
Oh
sympathetic.
no, it's true. They're not yours. That's the
They're not.
reason why. The reason why they know it's so
They were
easy
never
to
mine.
get you on that. And I see a lot of guys like this, and they're gonna hate me for this. In fact, a lot of guys, if they knew my origin story, they'd be like, as of him, you are evil. I'm like, you can call me whatever you want, but I'm not dead or in prison right now, so you can shut up.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I
but
like logic.
yeah, the truth is, like a lot of guys don't understand. The easiest way to get a man, is basically through emotional attachment.
Right.
Like
Right.
that old little saying about it's through his penis in his stomach.
Right.
No, that's because those were the services women like gave you to make you feel good. So you got attached to her. That's what that was. But in
Right.
reality, is she can have your kid, she can lead you to the path to hell easy.
Right.
And guess what? Eventually, you know what's gonna hurt the most a lot of guys don't get? Your kid might help her.
Right. Yeah. That's when you start to believe that that is yours somehow, and then that could be taken away at any second. And a judge will tell you at the end there, she gets custody of the kid. And you're going, what? And yeah, what they're really saying is, yeah, you were never a father. Yeah, that was just a lie.
No, there's no such thing as fathers.
There's no such thing as a father. You just believe that because socially it helps out.
Yeah, that's it.
I had a news story one time. The mother went to jail for 6 years, and the kid had grew up with the father. The day she got out of jail, the little kid had to go live with the mother.
Yeah, that's what happened to me too.
That's insane.
Yeah, that I never, and even it's then I was buying into I was a father, even quite a few years until I heard, even in Mgtow, quite a few years I was buying into I was a father, and there was some argument there for men's rights. And then who was it? I am Bale, right? SFM said that to us once. He says, "Don't call me the father. I'm not the father." And then I started working that logic down my head, and that's right. I'm not that father is a made up term. It's a social term. It's a social term that makes you into this and this. There's presuppositions to being a father, protector, provider. Monetarily, you'll be a provider in that situation. That's what the law is all about, getting you to believe that you're a father, that somehow you had that baby too. You didn't. She did, and it's always been hers. And that's what we have to get over in Mgtow. We say, no, that's always been hers. She has the right to those reproductive rights and everything because that's hers, her body. And I'm not arguing about her body because it's not my body. And I have no justification to be arguing about that. Whatever they believe on that. But I won't argue for my body.
Let me ask you this. How big do you think Mgtow will peak at?
I think there's a lot of things that has to, the social preconceptions of what a man is and has to change. And there has to be a philosophy that backs up in a logical way. And Mgtow is that philosophy, I think, but things like sexual cryptis has to be taught at school, and teachers have to change their minds about how they believe fathers' roles are. And we have to change our minds about a lot of things in this. Being a voluntary father, you can be a voluntary father to a child.
No, it won't work. And I'll say, I'm literally the only reason why I'm saying this is because right now, like I remember thinking I was talking to somebody, and when you start realizing the avenue towards like children's first basis of life and everything like that, it's like, all right, look at the Black community, and the immediately like it's a matriarchy. I'm like, yeah. So why do you think it's so hard? Like even smart Black dudes, guys who actually can get it and shit like that, look how hard they have to work to break away. Look, like a lot of them don't break away. In fact, they just get murdered. It's like you're out,
murdered, right?
And I'm like, yeah. Well, think about that because it's all about what the woman wants. All that they're basically raised to worship the mom. Yeah, your daddy ain't nothing. Blah blah blah. All this other crap. The system helps too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, you are starting from negative.
Yeah.
You're in a negative from the beginning.
Yeah, that's the argument. It is what it is. And it is what it is. And we have to reshape that is what it is. And that goes down to social norms.
Yeah.
And so social norms become laws. So right now, the argument, it is what it is. And you ain't, there's a matriarchy and she rules and that's it. And the Mgtow thing right now to do is just accept that. And then you say, okay, I can deal within these and I can navigate these bushes. I can navigate these obstacles.
Right now, we need to all teach and spread on surviving. Just being able to get the get the basis to survive it.
Right. Yeah. You navigating your life. So you take the risk out of your life. You do things, however they do it. There's a million arguments.
Think about how many young dudes come around. they don't even know how to be stable adults.
Right. Yeah. But that's what they're taking from us, and little bits and chunks of our of our masculinity, and little bits of chunks of our humanity, and they want us to be the slave, and that's that pays off for them.
Oh, I was thinking about that earlier, actually. And here's the thing that this is the reason why I like a lot of the newer Mgtows and younger Mgtows and everything like that. I don't really mess with them or bother with them much. You know, I'm like, all right, do you think? Because one thing I realized is like, all right, so you have the older and the wise, and then you have the young and the furious. Well, my thing is, those dudes, like I've talked to a few of them, they were really pissed off. They really don't care. They're really mad. And there's a lot more younger dudes. I don't even think they really like. They're like, I watched Sandman. I'm like, I don't believe you. It's like you just ask them about hypertrophy. They're like, oh, I don't think you watched anything, and they're just angry as all hell. And I'm like, oh, now y'all get what you get what's you get what's gonna happen to you. You get what's going on. So they're mad as all hell. They're reveling around. They're looking for their dad. They're pissed off. And my thing is, the only people they can see to take it out on us, who's causing them pain. And
hey guys,
I
got a dip. Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Oh, thanks for coming around, Cyber.
All right, nice talking to you, Cyber. Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I'm like, the only people they see who are causing them pain, it ain't they daddy.
Right.
So I'm just sitting there like, hey, this isn't gonna. Hey, y'all might want to try to figure something out, because you realize
it's the complex thought processes that go along with doing this thing is going to cause pain.
Yeah, I'm like 6 years ago, the guy who was like probably like 13 who found Mgtow.
Mm-hmm.
How old is he now? Like, is he 19? He's working. He's in college. Oh shit. Huh.
Yeah.
Weird
how that works
out.
Yeah,
I know. It's crazy how time works.
When you put a goal that's reasonable into your life, and you separate the risk, and everything starts working out right.
And I'm sitting here like, hey, like maybe you should stop pissing off the next generation so much and do something that actually, benefits all of society, instead of just trying to placate to the very dependable majority.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, the gynocentric. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can look. We can still include ourselves, and that's one of the biggest argument of collectivism, and that I hate. We have to include ourselves in society. We have to include to get any benefits of this thing we call society. We have to deal with it, and we have to do it, and that's just learn how to navigate that thing. That's a different story. That's a different argument.
Well, that's the thing that pisses me off. That's what the breakdown of the nuclear family. All right, I don't want to go back okay, because every time we talk, it's always going to end up going through just every single thing over again.
Yeah.
But my thing is, that's the whole reason why I still always have an issue with the fact, like, when people talk about the welfare state and all that, I'm like, what do you think your family and community was for?
Right. Yeah, that's the welfare state is you can break that all the way down to the end, and it's sexual cryptus. It's the females wants the whole community to be the father.
Yep.
They want every male to consider himself the father. And that's actually a more, once you understand that and once you deal with that, that's actually a better, it works within the natural world better. And we go, okay, with that, I don't have these responsibilities as a made up.
You don't get to force me. It's something
you don't get to force me. I get to volunteer, or I'll pay my taxes, as long as they're not too high, and I don't want to argue about them. And then, but don't come back for me for the second hit, like divorce. Don't come back for the second hit. There's a society built out there already that works within natural law, and that's called Health and Human Services. So go deal with them. Don't come to me.
The problem is they're not gonna. There's no reason to back up.
Yeah, they want both. They want their cake and they want to eat it too.
Because the thing is, I've been thinking about it, and I've been looking at ways things are going. I've been paying attention. I've been paying attention somewhat politically, not on purpose, just because random shit I see. And as far as I'm concerned, the way I look at it, it's just going like full boat swing. Like there's probably going to be it's not going to be that bad, but it's going to the point where there's going to be an eruption. I don't think it's going to be to the scale people talk about. They're it's going to be a war. And I'm like, no, it's not. I think it's probably just going to be there's going to be a certain event where literally it's gonna escalate certain other smaller events
Right.
that everyone they'll try to keep them hush hush and everything like that. Because in a couple of years you'll probably be like, that happened. When did that happen?
Yeah,
I
there'll
don't
be a
remember
big
seeing anything.
outhold.
I don't remember hearing about none of that.
Yeah, there'll be a climax of the way men think, and then we'll all get on the same page, and then there's going to be some discourse or some. I mean, there's always some discourse or something. It's
Oh no,
not
they're
gonna
just
be,
trying to elect somebody to get a war going.
yeah, and but yeah, all men will start thinking the same way, and that will usher in or force. It'll usher in or force a new
No,
way of.
if the majority of men start getting pissed off and saying this, saying that again, how do you go ahead and quell that? Well, you get rid of the majority of that generation, and you do that through a war.
Right, that'll be the men between 18 and 35. You know.
Hey, wait, I'm in that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, or 37. I can't remember when they draft up.
No, it's 30 before 32. Like I remember I was taking a shower. I'm like, hey, don't worry, bro, because I was sore as shit because a lot of the stuff I've been doing, like I've been taking
Yeah,
extra classes and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, 32, man. We
32.
still got time. 32,
Yeah,
32. And I'm like, oh
32.
shit, wait a minute, 32. We 29.
Yeah, it's a
That's
good
not
thought,
good.
not being where you won't be shanghaied into like fighting for somebody else's honor. It's like that's a good thought in life. That's barbaric when you think about it.
It is, but at the same time, I wouldn't back down from it. I
Yeah,
mean, I'll be mad as all hell. But at the same time, the one thought I'd have is like, you know what? Because if I'm really made of the stuff I think I'm made of,
yeah,
at least there'd be some dude out there who, if I'm with him, I could help his young dumbass and
yeah.
stop him from getting killed.
And most of us men will just, man, I'm going to kill this thing.
Exactly.
I'm just going to, whoo.
Oh wait, you wanted me? Oh, you must not have met a motherfucker like me.
Yeah. Did you ever meet me? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
messed
That's
up.
the male ego and everything. And we all want to be that guy, that super guy, you know.
No, but we live in realistic expectations. Like I said, like the only thought I'd have is like, all right, well, I'm about to die, but maybe I can help some other dude who's
Right.
probably younger than me and has a life. Maybe I can help him from not dying.
From not dying. Right.
That's what I'm saying, all right? Like that's how I be looking at a lot of stuff. Like as far as it goes,
That's
I'm not gonna go into all that.
the drill instructor. That's what his whole job is. He comes on and he's the aged male that's been in the army for God knows how long, and he's gonna first thing he says to you, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna teach you guys how not to die."
Yeah. Well, I think that's the male. That's the male role. Like
Yeah.
I've been alive long enough, and I've been through some stuff, and I ain't dead. I'm gonna teach you how not to die.
Not to die.
If you just listen to me, it's gonna be. Hey, some of this stuff you be like, that's not real. I'm like, hey, this ain't Grand Theft Auto, okay? It's real life.
Oh, you're gonna get skeptics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't believe. It's like what?
Yeah, you're gonna get skeptics on that, and those are usually the people that walk out and there's nothing going on here, and then.
Yep. And people like that, you can't really. That's why I don't like the whole because right now the era like super skepticism because they think everything's peaceful because they might like live in the suburbs or some shit or like they never really dealt with much, and they're like, oh, none of that exists. None of that's real.
They think that's ultra skepticism. Skepticism. Okay, question the world that you live in and develop something that works for you and all that, and that's all fine and dandy. But when they take it to that ultra skepticism, where they're doing flat Earth,
dude, I'll put like this: any human who's a flat earther, like I can't have a conversation with you.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. Like I said, half this morning I was like reading Copernicus. It's like that was in 1541, and but they did that to him too. They were like, no, Copernicus, the world is like flat, and there's a possibility that's oval shaped, and the whole sun and everything's going around us because we're so special.
So yeah, again, history always repeats itself.
Yeah.
Like literally. Well, you got to remember, we're the same humans. Yeah. We are literally the same humans.
I can see when I read Copernicus and what I like to read him for, because I can see the despair of a Mgtow in his voice. And you can see his comments. He's going, "You guys will never believe this, but this is the way it is." And that's the same thing that Mgtow's going. You guys are never going to believe this.
Hey, look, bro. I'm trying to look. All right, I know you're gonna. I've actually talked. I've talked to a dude like this. Where I'm like, hey, look, you're not gonna listen to me. I know you're not gonna listen to me. You're not gonna believe me at all. But you are biologically wired. You were like wired, literally, to basically want to appease a chick.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna listen to her. You're gonna ignore everything because you're horny.
Yeah, you're going to simp so hard, man.
They're like simp. What the hell is the word simp? I'm like, you'll find out.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, it's like I just be walking in. It's like you ever. I almost want to make a meme of it. It's like I'm walking in with a wife beater and gym shorts on with running shoes into a boxing ring. I go under the ropes. I come in. I chalk my hands and just walk out the other side. It's like, what the hell was that?
What?
He realized that you weren't ready. That
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. He just cut to the quick on that.
He saw your eye. He saw a bead of sweat come down, and he realized you wasn't ready. You wasn't
Yeah.
ready.
I wanted to order a T-shirt today, and I never did. I was going to order "Copernicus is still right, bitch."
Well, my thing is with people like that, it's just like there's no point. Waste the energy, waste the time. There's better stuff to do.
Yeah.
Way better stuff to do.
Yeah.
Just like I'm trying to remember an argument somebody tried to pose to me, but they couldn't. What they had to do was they had to get the groupie backing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a woman. Yeah, I know. It's like, as a film, what were you doing? Hey, it was Discord. I don't control that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like ad populum doesn't make you right.
And they tried to get that backing going, like, pump the crowd up, like, hey, come. And I'm just sitting there like, no. And then at the end, all they could say was, "You're mean.
You're mean." Yeah. Yeah.
You're mean. You're mean, SFM. You're mean, mother."
They want you to
Wrong.
believe you're mean too. They want you to believe you're the reading that I did at the beginning of this. They want men to believe that we're the despicable male, we're the mean male, we're all that bad, all posed in one, and we can be. We can be. It's just where at that bar do we let these things rule our lives? There's men are rational. That's this, as I said, with ego. There's a rational ego, the rational amount of ego. Don't give up at all because you see ego as a bad thing because your boss has an ego 10 times the size of the room. Don't become him, but let that take you to become a better person. A more competitive person. That's where the ego's good. It's healthy, a healthy ego, and with honor, there's a healthy honor, and with all things healthy. And we often say that if you're eating lemons every day, 6 lemons a day, eventually that shit's it might be good for you for a little bit, but you're gonna get ulcers.
Well, actually, you probably shouldn't be eating lemons daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some good to it. You'll keep it on a healthy bar. That's what we say about a lot of.
You can what you can do is get some of that that lemon juice, not the like sugared up crappy stuff. I'm talking about the real lemon juice.
Yeah.
And just take a squirt of that before bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people take things too far a lot. They'll take skepticism too far. They'll take but I can see why some people have they're new and exciting. That's when they do the Mgtow on Mgtow thing too. It's new and exciting.
Oh shit! I got the soundbite. I wish my audio was working on the Discord.
Yeah.
On the Discord, I got like a channel called Soundbites. I have the soundbite. You're talking about me and RP narrowed it down to multiple versions of best of the best of the best, sir. We narrowed it down to multiple versions of it.
Yeah, that's a great
soundbite channel now.
I always wanted that as a soundbite, like in the background.
It's there. It's there, and I got a whole bunch of other ones too.
It's like, man, he's just really excited about this Mgtow stuff. Give him a little room, and he's going to be excited. It's like, Jesus worshipers do that too. When they get really excited, they're born again.
Born again?
They want to tell the whole world about that shit. Or Jehovah's Witnesses get really excited about that new philosophy they got. It's It's like they get really excited. They're going to go around and knock on every door in the neighborhood and irritate everybody. And you just go, man, he's really excited about that shit. And right now, he's the best of the best of the best, man.
Sir.
Sir. Yeah, people do that. We got to let it in. We let it go in here to a point, and then we got to go, man, you're just taking that.
There's a few guys. I'm letting them just go on, and I'm just like, all right, you keep having fun, but I'm like, if you keep bothering me, though,
Yeah,
just don't bother me with. And you have your fun. I'm gonna let you have your fun. All right, just leave me the fuck alone for a little while. All right?
yeah. The beautiful moment in that is once in a while I'll be listening to a podcast or something, and they'll run into one of the truths that we always say, and then you can hear the pause, the stop, the we just ran onto something pause, and that's the the wheels are turning now about what they ran into.
Oh no, because they're just talking. They're just popping off.
Yeah.
They're just popping off. That's all. That's why I started using that term. They're just popping off. They're just popping off. That's all they're doing. And then when they actually realize, oh crap, is this what we're talking about?
Yeah, we worked it down to a truth now. Oh, whoa. And then there's more implications to that truth out there that Mgtow talks about. And it's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, I see the ones that get scared. I see them.
Yeah, they get scared or they run from it or they, there's a lot of different reactions.
They want to lash out at somebody. Well, it's because of this person. Like, what?
And a lot of them double down on stupid. We went through that one before too. And, they double down on the stupid and just reject it. It's like,
again, I keep trying to tell them, like, again, if you find yourself just on, you're gonna find out there's a lot of dudes around. Like nobody knows like how long I've been around except for like the people who actually know me.
Yeah.
Because of when I put my channel hibernation, and also when my channel got flagged, and when my channel got flagged again, and yeah, so it's like, dude, don't come up to me like you're gonna pop off and I'm gonna do something. I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm like eventually, like what's gonna do is I'm just gonna ruin you. I'm just gonna end you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get tired of that because I'm not playing that game. I got stuff to do. There's more. Like you don't understand how serious this is. Like this actually saves guys from like killing themselves, like blowing themselves off the earth.
Right. Yeah, that's why we're here. We're here to, help explain. We'll talk our complex subjects someday, like today, and how things relate to Mgtow and that. But basically, we're here to help.
Again, you can ask anybody. I got no problem helping and all that, but you start trying to do. I want to be YouTube famous and internet drop. No. Look, I may not. In my mind, 29 is old. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm old. All right. You need to back up, calm down. I got a lot of stuff to do. Yeah. Now you got 10 minutes. Tell me what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're taking it to the shilling and stuff. Hey, there's a plant on there. And remember the Feed Joe's plant. and look in the low bar. Hey, guys, this thing doesn't work on its own.
Like, subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, and share. Yeah.
It's like, bro, you do you. That's all cool. Don't bother me unless it's about some shit that really, I don't know. Like, unless you really got some shit to talk about, like some real stuff to talk about. Like, 'cause I remember back in the day when you talk about, like, some psychology. Like, hey, in fact, that actually be what a dope conversation for the future is. The new DSM-6. I ain't even checked that out yet.
The DSM-6, is that coming out?
Yeah, that's supposed to. Wait, was it 4? No, was it
4
5?
and 5, yeah. And then there's going to be the DSM-6, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not up on my social psychology much.
Oh, no, I ain't been paying attention to that for a little bit because I've been doing too much of studying and everything. But honestly, I think that would be a dope stream, actually, to check that out.
Yeah, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to do the toxic male and a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, they already put forth that that's going to be like part of that anyway.
Yeah, they've already released that's going to be in a lot of the things that we've been seeing, the toxic male and
it's almost like female mental porn, isn't it?
Yeah, narcissism and all that thing, and how we can blame it on men.
Like, hey, ladies, here's how you're not a narcissist, but all the men are.
All the men.
It's like, ugh, what is this?
Yeah, we see a lot of that. I get psychology today delivered on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Every day I see kind of the narratives that they pushing, and then I go read it and real quick, brief it. I don't read it intensely. I just kind of brief through it and see like which part of this thing is going to shame men.
some of the stuff I've seen, like a majority of it. I think I saw one. I saw one that was like, this seems balanced, and I got towards the end. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was the other day. I was when I did my I was right, and I have the jacket, the I was right
Yeah.
jacket, and I was like I was right, and they were agreeing with everything they were agreeing with everything they took my video down for.
Oh, my thing is, you got to remember, it can't be men's idea.
Yeah, it can't be Joe's idea. Joe,
Yeah,
yeah.
no man. It could never. No man said this. A woman did.
Yeah. Well, you see that with you look up if everybody doesn't believe that, go look up gynocentrism and Wikipedia page, and they're going to give 3 women authors or authors.
They did that with something else. What was that? They did that with something else too. What was that? I'm trying to remember because I remember when this happened. It was something else.
Yeah, it's okay as long as it comes from the female voice, which I'm right about that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you said that years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, the female voice. It's okay as long as the female voice comes through a female voice, and that's gynocentrism.
Well, no, that's why a lot of guys, I look at them and they don't understand why I look at them the way I do. I'm like, you're weak. You're weak. Like this happens in real life. A lot of dudes, they don't understand. Like they look at me, they think we should be friends and have that healthy male competition, but I don't look at them as competition. In fact, I shrug them off and basically I just brush them off. And in there, I can see it in their face. They're like, why?
Yeah,
it's because you're weak.
I do the hippie thing. It's like, do your own thing, man.
You serve women, I serve myself. There's a difference.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Basically, yeah. Have fun. You serve women, I serve myself.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
Yeah.
Women aren't my goddamn equals. They look at women as partners. Yeah. It's not a thing. They're not your partners, you idiot.
Yeah, patronizing people becomes it's such a Mgtow thing after a long time. You just patronize them, like, go ahead, do that, man. You're so right.
Well, because here's the thing. To contest them would to basically be what? Cause just a conflict with your own self-goal.
Yeah, you're making
of not having problems in your life.
Yeah, you're making it relevant in your mind, and you don't want to have that inner dialogue.
Well, I think also you don't want the life conflict. Why would you want the conflict with all that bullcrap?
Conflict. I don't want that. I don't want to be thinking about.
I just want to go ahead and live out this thing, the way I can, the best way I see fit. Yeah. I ain't trying to deal with all that.
Right. I was sitting on the couch the other day, and I don't do it much anymore. And when we used to talk about the meditation thing, I came home, I stared at that wall, and I removed every thought from my brain, and I could do that now. There's no inner conflict. There's no ruminations about horrible things. There's no garbage, and I cut all those things being a Mgtow, and I could do that now. I could just sit there for 20 minutes of this human thing I have to be in, and just like this.
Yeah.
And get the total enlightenment. Enlightenment is removing everything in your brain.
That's that decompression.
Yeah, you decompress, and then I felt better.
Remember, there used to be even on TV shows, married, like they'd have the married dude say, "Can I come home and decompress?"
Decompress. Yeah, your father used to. My father, he'd come home, sit on that chair, and even though you were talking to him, there was nothing there. He was just decompressing, and he was going, and he was just removing all horrible thoughts from his mind.
Yeah. And a lot of people that's what a lot of men don't get. Like, you need those moments. You need that.
I think you need that like you need sleep. You need them moments like a man needs those moments like he needs sleep, and that's the introspection and that's the serenity we talk about. If you never get an ounce of serenity in your life and you're always the suffering male.
Oh, well, my thing is that's where you get the guy that literally, this is before things were even bad. That's where you get the guy where he's like, fuck this. Either I'm leaving, I'm dipping out, I'm going somewhere, or something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
Give him that time.
That's what fishing's all about. How many guys go down to the lake, they take their fishing rod and they throw an empty hook, and then they just sit back and they just look out at the lake.
Well, think about any company we work for, and think about actually the people, like the manager they say is the best. The one like that's the best one. You know what he does? You know what he's smart at? He knows how not to overload any one individual. He'll spread it around, even maybe until himself.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's like, no. Because if you push someone too hard, if you consistently do that, they're gonna snap or break, or something's gonna happen,
Right.
and then boom.
Right. Yeah, we do that. Even in here on the internet, man, you can get so overloaded with so many different, things. If you don't pick a topic for the day and try to just kind of, when I say I breeze through articles, I just breeze through them. I don't
Yeah.
want to think about that. I want to know about it in case somebody asks me, but I don't want to think about it. I don't want to make that an issue in my life.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like you saw back in the day when I used to do that. That's the reason one of the articles that was just a point of just like bringing it off of, because the things we were talking about was pretty deep, and especially at the time a lot of us we were talking about was new. Like not you, but us, like the group I had around me was new, and so us talking about the articles that would help.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
So I
saying?
know about them, so I kind of know what the issues are and everything. Norm Chomsky used to say this all the time about I get up in the morning and I read 8 papers, or I breeze through 8 papers, just so in case somebody asks me, I kind of know a little bit about what I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't sit there and internalize and get triggered over every single one of them
No, you can't.
and make that my issue. My issue for today is cupcakes, man. They're screwing over the cupcake makers. It's like, no, I'm not doing that with every single thing in life.
Oh no, people. That's the problem I will always have. Is everyone wants you to be their sword or their
Yeah,
shield.
yeah. Every group out there that has an issue with something, they want you to be on board with it, and that's understandable. I want every person to be on board with my issue too, but I know it's yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to
No.
proselyte every single person to be in a Mgtow, and it's like, no, it's not going to happen. Everything.
Hey, look, dude. I'll put it like this: like a lot of people, because as a film has been a social butterfly lately. I'll tell you like this,
Good.
dude. Again, I stand behind the simple phrase that I say. Yes, I do give a fuck about people. I do care.
Yeah.
But if you think that I'm gonna give two flying he double hockey sticks about whatever motive you have for, no, actually I got my own stuff going on. I just like to have all the perspectives. I want all the perspectives as of him. Yeah, I'm greedy as hell. I want all the perspectives. I want to know
Yeah, I want to
everything.
think about everything. I want to be well briefed. I want to be enlightened. I want to be, that's honorable things. That's an honorable trait to want to be that guy that I know a little about. I can go talk football to these guys. I can go talk base. I could talk, Mgtow over here. I could, but I don't want to have to dig down too deep on that. I could talk Mgtow deep.
Oh no,
It's that,
you want to start talking some MGTOW? I can get
yeah,
into
that's
this.
my thing. My thing's gender dynamics, and I could go deep on that. But I don't push it on everybody, and I don't go out to the like JB sitting in a bar yelling at the guy because he had no fucking clue what Mgtow was.
But I do like existentialism. That's one of the
Yeah,
things.
yeah, I like existentialism. It opens up it opens up a lot of ideas, and I can think about I'm giving a roadmap too with that.
Yeah.
These from Descartes, up to now, there's been 100 guys that give me a roadmap on how to think about that, and then some of them I say you're an ass, and some of them, Ducat. I hate that guy, but uh, but yeah, I give them a roadmap, and it gives me something to do too.
Yeah, because my thing is, a lot of times I try to tell people, you don't read what you can, but at the same time, the best thing you could ever do is solitude and your own thoughts.
Right, and you brought up the good reason for that earlier too, is what you're having an existential crisis, and you're going to grab a hold of the closest thing that you know.
Yep.
And then some guys that's religion, and then some guys that's the blue pill world. Some
Yep.
guys, that's being a slave, and if it is being a slave, that's dangerous.
Oh no, because it's actually it's very human.
Yeah.
The thought of the abyss, of falling into the abyss, of the nothingness,
Yeah.
of nothing there, like literally them. You're imagine being a human, nothing but darkness, nothing. It's just you. You exist still. No, you're here. There's nothing though.
Right. Yeah. At a certain
That
point,
scares the hell out of any psyche.
Right. At a certain point, you read enough, and you're not going to have no existential crisis. As I can move
Oh,
within.
you'll find comfort in something else.
Yeah. If I stop believing this, I can start believing something equally as logical, without
No,
having to go back
it
into
doesn't have to be.
traditions.
No, it doesn't have. Comfort doesn't equal logic. It
Yeah.
just has to comfort. That's it.
Yeah, it comforts me to do that, to be able to transition. And I talked about that way back in the days when I was all
Oh
off.
no, I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you. I was
Yeah,
saying that when it comes down to other people, like certain mentalities,
yeah,
it doesn't have to equal logic for them to
right.
transition to it. It just has to equal comfort.
Yeah, and that's a
That's
big
it.
subject
Because
within
again,
that
the
too.
abyss is scary. Basically, darkness, nothingness. Like basically having no one or anything or nothing else to land on,
Right.
and just being,
That's a
existing
scary place.
in
That's the bridge
itself.
to nowhere.
Yeah. So they need something to latch on to.
They need something. Yeah. Now we talked about that with transitioning as the male. We get to the end of this project, and we know there's a new job. There's a new thing out there for me. There's a new club, and I have to transition from the old one into the new one. That teaches us how to do this, and that's what men are. We're
Yeah.
constantly changing what we are, reinventing ourselves, and seeing if does this work good too. And then we decide at that point, well, that was a failure, but I can still transition. It's the people that can get caught in the transition point.
Oh, that's
That
what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Yeah. The ones who stay, it's not like they stick in the void. The problem is, they're looking for someone to point them out of it.
right. You're looking for something new and exciting. Sometimes those new and exciting things are like the Christian, like, ooh, man, he's so excited.
Exactly.
He got
So
all
it's
born
yeah,
again.
yeah. So it's one of those things, and a lot of guys they want like this, just I don't know, they want like a direct, thing on that. And the
Yeah,
problem what they don't get is when you're in that type of phase, you're the only one that knows.
yeah, that's up to you too.
Yeah, like no one else can pinpoint you anywhere. And in fact, here's the thing: if I ask you how you're doing existentially, you be like, "Man, shut up."
Yeah, I have a firm belief, and I'll just right now I have a firm belief in Rawls and Camus, and that keeps me existentially centered.
Uh huh. uh huh.
Uh-huh. But did you meet Jesus?
So it's one of those things where my thing is, that's why a lot of guys when they come to Mgtow, they don't get there's not a real buddy system here. That's not a real thing.
Yeah,
Because it can't be. Here's the thing. So if you're
can't be.
rethinking your purpose in life, your meaning, your existence, everything you believe in, no one else can help you with that.
Yeah, no one else could really help you with that. But it would be nice to have like someone like if we did have a buddy system, and it's like, this is your designated buddy. If you're having an existential crisis, go talk to him.
It's like, yeah, I knifed him in New Jersey parking lot.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? Well, I chose Buddhism and he was an atheist. So,
Yeah, and we got an example of this. What was that RPG guy that his co-host was the girl, and she was supposed to be the his
wait,
buddy?
what happened? Whoa, hold up. What happened?
Yeah, Red Russian gamer. Remember, he murdered his
That
co-host.
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with us. That
Yeah,
has
I
nothing
know.
to do with us.
It was on the skeptics. He was on that skeptic side and everything. But he
Yeah.
ran into an existential crisis in his life too. He didn't know how to transition. He didn't know how to do the
Well,
make.
my thing is, here's where they fuck up. Here's where everybody fucks up. I shit you not. Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but you can technically qualify me as an atheist, but I really wouldn't.
Mhm.
It's just I just don't pay attention to that shit. And like I like as far as like what happens when you die, I'm like, yeah, that's a huge discussion, and I don't want to have it.
Yeah,
Instead, I'll focus on the living. That's
right,
what I'll focus on. I'll focus on being alive and what you should do when you're alive and how you should think and do and all that. And so morals never went down the tube.
right.
Never lost my morals.
Yeah, and he was one of those guys that believed that atheism was the ultimate. And when you get down to the end of the things, I just don't know. I have never been dead, and I don't know where I came from because I didn't come into this world as a naked little fucking 7 pound 6 ounce baby with a fucking roadmap.
Well, my thing is, here's the thing that for anybody who might be listening who might be atheist, I'll tell you off the rip. As far as it goes, that's no reason to abandon understanding being a decent human being,
Right,
having morals, character, and a standard of basically behavior,
right,
and
right.
especially of mental character. Like like no, you don't. That doesn't mean just everything goes
Yeah,
and just
and it doesn't mean
hedonism and all that.
you're wrong
No,
about everything. I mean, Thomas Aquinas was more right than he was wrong. Uh, and if you get some kind of relief there, go for it, man. you know, I'm not
the
saying
truth
that.
is, like, when it comes down to it, is so if like, cause some people equate it like this. Um, so if you find yourself being an atheist but having no issue with religion, you might as well put yourself into the point where I actually want to go off of results on what works the best,
What works the best, right? Where can I apply?
not what I go off of, not what feels the best, what works the best,
Right. Yeah. And
and
that's
I
what they're having trouble transitioning now. I just read an article about that thing. Maybe you probably read the same one since you're going in that direction. They're having this what are they what are the morals of atheism?
that's so stupid. All right, look, number one, let go of the title, let go of the label. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, let go of that.
It doesn't mean anything. The main thing you're trying to focus on: how do I be a good, healthy human and live out this existence without ending it early through stupid actions or behaviors?
Right. Suicide. And, yeah.
Yeah,
Without things
that's
becoming
your
so
main thing.
absurd that you're going to commit suicide.
And also, if you're looking towards like, oh, but how do I keep the will? Read Nietzsche, The Will to Power. Read
Yeah,
that. I
good.
read 14 pages. I'm like, I've been talked about shit like that for years. God damn it! Are y'all that slow? Y'all can't get this?
Yeah, isn't it great when you see you see the reflection in yourself in some of these? I just told Joey about that the other day. That when I was reading Camus, I seen myself in it,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
see the
well,
way I think, and I was happy. And
ain't
it made
nothing new under the goddamn sun. That's why.
yeah, there's nothing new under the sun, and I'm not that special, unique boy. you know, at least I like to think I am.
No, just let it go. It's like, yeah, hey, my name's SFM. I'm special. You
Uh,
sure?
Special, yeah. But yeah, we can find relief in odd spots sometimes.
Oh no, I literally have to quell my ego. I'm like, no, nigga, you're not the reincarnation. Calm it down. It's like, well, maybe there was a black Nietzsche nobody knew about. It's like,
Oh yeah, I was just reading a little while ago. Leon, what was his name? Leon Hines.
what the fuck?
He was like the Black Nietzsche.
All right, let's stop pissing off the internet.
Yeah, no, I think SFM's the Black Nietzsche.
All right, now you're gonna get like several death threat emails out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
I'm gonna get like taken down again. This will be the first year in like 4 years I've been up there in this period of time.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised. I'm like, damn, nobody caught me like throwing up a random channel again and just doing stuff. Because apparently, like, there's somebody out there who really hates me. They're just like, I hate them. I don't want them talking. I want them off the internet.
Yeah. But that was my change in philosophy a little while ago, where I just couldn't do it no more. I couldn't be that awful guy. I couldn't be that. I can't be casually cruel anymore. I was just hurting myself too much, and I like just man, it's just try to be cool sometimes, and sometimes, man, people are going to disagree with you. Just be cool about it, and I don't go off no more on anybody. And it's me growing up.
I kind of don't give a shit because my thing is, a lot of people forget. I tell, like, number one, because I actually said it out loud. I'm like, yeah, I'm not here for me. It's not me, because I think about all the dudes who I've helped and who I talked to and everybody I'm here for like that. Well, yeah, like, I could have left a long time ago.
Right? Yeah, you
In
could
fact,
have
I
took
should
what you
have.
learned and left with it.
But at the same time, every time I talk to the dudes, homeboys, and we talk and we hang out, and then somebody else comes around, I got some advice to give to them, and they're like, "Oh, that helped. Thanks, as a film." I'm like, "All right, yeah, all right, peace out, peace out, little nigga." And, it's like, oh crap,
What is gratitude too? Gratitude is giving back freely what was given to you, and that's
yeah.
how you project my gratitude onto Mgtow. And Mgtow saved my life. I don't
And
know
I was
how
thinking
many.
about how many young dudes can I help in real life though?
Yeah, so that's it's my job, not in the sense I'm going to get paid for it or anything. It's just my job to be grateful for what was given to me, and that's how I do it. And most people in life do it that way. You know, you learn something, and I'm hanging signs up. Don't go down this path. There's briar and mud down there. you know, you know, been there. That's gratitude.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, I'm kind of out of words, so.
Yeah, we've been running over, but it was great talking to you, SFM. I think we touched on a lot of great subjects today.
Oh, ain't no thing, man. Ain't no problem.
Yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up, and it's like always, guys. You guys are important. You guys are important to the Mgtow. We do something here. We do a real active thing here. I know it gets frustrating. It doesn't seem like things are ever going to change, but hey, as long as we have a light, and you're the lighthouse, and that's what guys are reaching out for sometimes. You as a lighthouse, and no matter what your small part is, or what your big part is, or you guys are the shits, man. I'll just say it, and that's it. And it's good that we could do these things and have these conversations, and most of all, man, most of all, thanks for being Mgtow.